Chapter 250. Xiao Han's words stunned the group of veteran heroes. He was too stubborn. He was surrounded by 9 of the top 4,000 heroes on the monster hero ranking, and yet he was still so stubborn. He was a rare weirdo. It should be noted that the 9 chivalrous swordsmen present were not only ranked highly on the chivalrous swordsman leaderboard and had reached the expanded acupoint realm. Furthermore, all of them had gone through mountains of blades, seas of fire, mountains of stone, and seas of bones. They had killed demons and schemed against other chivalrous swordsmen. None of them were simple. All of them were proud and arrogant. There were more than 5 million heroes in this world. For these people to be ranked in the top 4,000, they must have had many fortuitous encounters, turned misfortunes into blessings, and were extremely lucky. They were geniuses among geniuses. Otherwise, they would not have been able to reach this stage. A rookie who had just become a monster hero and his true chi cultivation was a mess, dared to roar in front of such a group of people without batting an eyelid. This was crazy. The expressions of the 9 demons changed drastically. Even the seemingly lazy and aloof devil hero Yang Hong had a rare murderous look in his eyes. Moonlight rolled around his body, giving off a strong pressure. Monster hero Jin Shanxiong stood with his hands behind his back. His eyes narrowed and glowed. Looks like this kid needs to be taught a lesson. Waves of true chi surged like the tide, locking down the entire area and trapping Xiao Han. It was like catching a turtle in a jar, making it impossible for Xiao Han to escape. However, under such circumstances Xiao Han was calm. His face was calm and his eyes were filled with fighting spirit. He had always been a man of strong character. He would not give in easily. He had always dared to fight and fight. Now that he had a fortuitous encounter and his battle power had increased, he would not hold back. Instead, he was tempted. He wanted to attack fiercely. On one hand, he wanted to test his current battle power. On the other hand, he wanted to show these veteran heroes that he was not a pushover. Xiao Han. Nye San was enraged by thunder and lightning. He glared at Xiao Han with his eyes wide open. Who do you think you are? How dare you challenge us here? We know what you're capable of. It wasn't even worth mentioning. Oh, that's right, you were thrown into the Heavenly Dragon Empire's Imperial City's totem dwelling. I don't know what kind of crafty plot you used, but you actually managed to escape. You even dared to bathe the Heavenly Dragon Empire's Imperial City in blood. You must have had some fortuitous encounter. That's why you are acting so arrogantly in front of us. How childish. There are 9 of us here and all of us are at expanded acupoint realm. Among them, there are also masters ranked in the top 3,000 on the hex ranking list. It will be a piece of cake for them to deal with you. Umph. Lei Qiji coldly snorted. Lightning was brewing in his eyes. Between his eyebrows, there seemed to be a world of lightning hibernating. Puny ant. You think you can bully me just because you have a high ranking? It didn't make sense. It was still the same sentence. All of you scram. Otherwise, don't blame me for turning against you. Xiao Han flicked his fingernails. Shut up. You plotted to murder Yu Ming, this is a heinous crime. You still dare to boast here? You're completely courting death. Zhou Chuan roared furiously. Nonsense. You said that I killed Yu Ming. Show me the evidence. Xiao Han's eyeballs moved slightly. Xiao Han thought. If the other party really had the evidence that he killed Yu Ming, they would not be wasting time here. They would come to capture him directly. Moreover, the higher-ups of the Hex Hero Pagoda might even send people to capture him. Therefore Xiao Han asked for the evidence. How stubborn. Zhou Chuan and Ye Saner's expressions froze. That's right. They really couldn't bring out any direct evidence. After all, before Yu Ming died, he only sent out a message saying that the culprit who murdered him was Xiao. As for who Xiao was, he didn't have the time to say it. In this world, there were many martial artists with the surname Xiao. On the Hex ranking list, there was no lack of Hex heroes with the surname Xiao. Even among the ancient giants, there were also people with the surname Xiao. Whoever dared to say that it was Xiao Han who killed Yu Ming? If Yu Ming had died a breath later, he might have been able to say the name of the murderer in one breath. Now, Zhou Chuan and Ye Saner's original intention was to use words to scare Xiao Han so that he would admit defeat. Then they would forcefully bring Xiao Han back to Li Fanming and torture him until he confessed. At that time, it didn't matter if Xiao Han was the real murderer or not. He would not be able to escape death. However, Xiao Han was stubborn. He didn't fall for it at all. Looking at Zhou Chuan and Ye Saner's expressions, Xiao Han knew that they couldn't bring out any evidence. All of a sudden, Xiao Han was completely fearless. He no longer had any scruples. Let's not talk nonsense. Bring him back to Li Fanming first. Let's not argue about it. Let's split the 200,000 contribution points. In any case, it's a windfall. There's no need to ruin our relationship over this. Luo Huanshan of Mount Luyan's 4 heroes urged. The truth of this matter has nothing to do with us. We're just giving face to Li Fanming and earning some contribution points. Xiaohan, don't force yourself. Let's go back to the Devil Hero Pagoda first and confront Li Fanming face to face. Lian Xiao of the 4 heroes of Mount Luyan said indifferently. Ah. Xiaohan looked up to the sky and laughed. From your tone, it seems that you're confident that I, Xiaohan, will die. You've gone too far. According to my temper, I would definitely fight to the end with you. However, now that I'm a devil hero and you're devil heroes, I'll hold back a little. It's the duty of a devil hero to hunt demons. It's unreasonable for us to fight each other with our lives. How about this? Let's fight. If I can win, all of you will get lost and stop bothering me. Don't accuse me of anything. If I lose, I'll go with you. If you say that I'm the real murderer of Yu Ming, I'll admit it. How about that? This time, Xiaohan also learned his lesson. If he really fought and killed 1 or 2 of these chivalrous heroes, once they sent out the message before they died, he would really be in serious trouble. He might really be punished by the higher-ups of the chivalrous hero tower, and the loss outweighed the gain. He might as well arrange a fight. If someone died, he would be tracked down. He also had an explanation. You want to fight with us? Let's decide the winner by force? The 9 veteran swordsmen looked at each other. Then, he's too arrogant. He's so arrogant. He's so young and has just become a devil hero, but he's so arrogant. Looks like his brain is indeed flooded with water. He's seriously ill. The group of senior devil heroes all laughed mockingly. In their eyes, Xiaohan was nothing more than a nouveau riche who came from a poor family but had many fortuitous encounters and rose in a short time. He didn't know the immensity of heaven and earth, stirring up trouble everywhere and offending people he couldn't afford to offend. Everything he did was courting death. Naturally, they would not take Xiaohan seriously. Yi Xiaohan, how do you want to fight? Jin Shanxiong asked eagerly. How about this? One-on-one or a group fight? It's up to you. Xiaohan smiled. What does one-on-one mean? What does a group fight mean? Yang Hong sneered. One-on-one means that among you choose anyone to fight me one-on-one. We'll decide the winner in one fight. If it's a group fight, it means that you all come at me together and I'll finish you all at once. Xiaohan smiled innocently. Make your choice quickly. I'm in a hurry to get back to the Devil Hero Pagoda. Don't waste time. How dare you? Hearing Xiaohan say one-on-one and group challenge with a straight face, this group of veteran heroes was so angry that they jumped up and down. They had never been provoked like this by such a rookie. Interesting. Suddenly, Lei Qizhi took a step forward. His aura was extremely fierce. There was lightning rolling on the surface of his body, and the sound of thunder was like a tide. Xiaohan, since you're courting death, you can't blame others. Oh? You're called Lei Qizhi, right? Why, you want to fight me one-on-one? Xiaohan smiled. I thought you would choose a group fight. Xiaohan, don't be so glib. Since you're the one who suggested a one-on-one fight, you can't blame me for bullying the weak. Moreover, when we fight, don't be afraid and don't think about escaping. Of course, you have no chance to escape in front of me. Also, I, Lei Qizhi, usually don't fight, but when I do, I will go all out. If there are any injuries during the fight, don't blame others. Don't expect your sect or the Devil Hero Pagoda to avenge you. You asked for it. Life and death are decreed by fate. If you're killed by me, it's because you're not as good as others. You only have yourself to blame. I don't want the 200,000 contribution points. Today I'll kill you. You're a very annoying person. If I don't kill you today, I won't be able to think straight. Very well. Xiaohan also took a step forward. If I remember correctly, Lei Qizhi, you're ranked 2487 on the Devil Hero ranking list. Among this group of Devil Heroes, you're ranked the highest. It's best if you stand out and fight me one-on-one. To me, you're the best choice. You can make a show of strength. Don't worry. If I'm killed by you, I deserve it. I won't send a message to my sect or the Devil Hero Pagoda. However, if you're killed by me, it's your fate. You can't blame me. After saying that, Xiaohan took a few steps forward and walked towards Lei Qizhi. All of you move away. This ignorant madman is still wet behind the ears. His mouth is very annoying. He made me really angry. Now, I want to take his life with my own hands. All of you move away. Lei Qizhi was full of killing intent. Lei Qizhi is angry. Forget it, let's all move away. Jin Shanxiong shook his head and laughed. He took a few steps back. Yang Hong thought for a few breaths and took the opportunity to move away. The 4 heroes of Mount Luyin also moved away. Big brother Lei Qizhi, Big brother Li Fanming said he wants him alive. Do you think we should just cripple him and leave him alive? Yes, Big brother Lei Qizhi, you can ravage him and cripple him, but leave him alive so that we can report to Big brother Li Fanming when we return. Zhou Chuan and Ye Saner said at the same time. Shut up. Lei Qizhi's anger soared to the sky. Today I won't give face to anyone. I've said it before. If I don't kill this kid, I won't be able to think straight. Today he will die for sure. This? Zhou Chuan and Ye Saner were speechless. However, Lei Qizhi's cultivation and ranking were much higher than theirs. They didn't dare to say anything. Everyone retreated, leaving a large space for Xiaohan and Lei Qizhi to fight. The Xiaohan is dead for sure. He might be killed instantly. Lei Qizhi was ranked 2487th on the Devil Hero ranking. He was definitely not an ordinary person. He opened 58 acupoints in his body and expanded them 8 times, which was 33 times. His true qi was as deep as the ocean and immeasurable. Moreover, he cultivated the thunderous great true qi, and was born with the bloodline of thunder. He could communicate with the thunder and lightning in the sky. No calamity would befall him and he would live a peaceful life with great luck. As long as he opened 2 more acupoints and expanded them 2 more times, he would have the chance to enter the top 1500 of the Devil Hero ranking. If he went one step further and condensed his true qi into talismans, he would be qualified to compete for the position of the ancient powerhouse. How could a small fry like Xiaohan be a match for Lei Qizhi? They are not on the same level. It will definitely be an instant kill. There's no doubt about it. Yes, Lei Qizhi is so angry that he didn't even give face to Li Fanming. He didn't even want the 200,000 contribution points. He will definitely use a killing move. He is not playing with Xiaohan. It would be strange if he didn't kill him instantly. The devil heroes who were watching were also discussing. Ignorant kid. He will die immediately. Thunderous great true qi. Suddenly, Lei Qizhi's right hand grabbed towards Xiaohan's head. A large area of space suddenly turned into a world of thunder and lightning. Flashes of lightning were like snakes, dragons and dragons. They rolled and rolled, choosing their targets to devour. The sound of thunder swept across, destroying people's organs. The 7 fingers of Lei Qizhi's right palm turned into 7 huge ancient thunder mountains, crushing towards Xiaohan. Waves of thunder and lightning swept out. The entire space was torn apart by the thunder and lightning. It collapsed, dismembered and caved in, turning into a dense electric light. Behind Lei Qizhi, a vast and boundless world of thunder and lightning appeared. His will shocked the ages, shook the heavens and earth and destroyed all living things. Xiaohan. It is a worthy death for you to die in the hands of I, Lei Qizhi. Aren't you known for having a tough body? Today I will destroy your body. I will destroy your bones. What the F***ck, you scolded the one next door. World-destroying demon saber. Suddenly Xiaohan's left arm flashed with a demonic light. All the demonic energy contained in the 93,000 demonic meridians was sucked dry. Pooh! A demonic and beautiful saber light flashed out from Xiaohan's hand. This saber was poignant, beautiful, sad, desperate and heartbreaking. It was a beauty that surpassed any secular world. Its speed was hundreds of times faster than the speed of sound. Demonic aura soared into the sky. Yin and Yang were reversed, day and night were indistinguishable, and the heavenly Tao was in chaos. The entire world seemed to have sunk into eternal darkness. There was no day, only night. Xiaohan's world-destroying demon saber had 93,000 demonic meridians as its foundation. Its power had already surpassed Qing Lin Demon Emperor at his peak. The demonic aura was murderous, and it sucked away all the vitality in the world. The light was distorted, and the thunder and lightning attack in the world of thunder and lightning were all absorbed, leaving nothing behind. Moreover, what was even more terrifying was that Lei Qizhi's body was directly pulled by the demonic saber light, as if it was about to be sucked into the saber light. No! Lei Qizhi let out a heart-wrenching scream. Shockingly, bang! Lei Qizhi's arms exploded and his flesh, bones and skin scattered in all directions. Roar! Lei Qizhi let out a blood-curdling scream like a pig being slaughtered. Blood spurted out of his mouth and his figure retreated rapidly. In a breath's time, he turned into a ray of lightning and disappeared without a trace. After destroying both of Lei Qizhi's arms, the world-destroying demon saber finally dissipated. One move. Xiao Han actually defeated the person ranked 2487th on the demon hero ranking with one move. Of course, this saber was the condensation of all the demonic aura in Xiao Han's body. He used all of his strength and did not hold back. However, it was not enough to kill Lei Qiji, and only made him retreat with serious injuries. However, this result was enough for him to be proud of. The whole place was in absolute silence. I've said it before. Wouldn't a group fight be better? But you guys just had to fight one-on-one. Hehe, who else wants to come up? Xiao Han smiled bitterly. Moreover, he quickly took out a few heavenly desolate demon fruits from his storage ring, and quickly replenished his demonic aura. His eyes swept across the rest of the demon heroes, looking down on the world. Chapter 251. Qing Lin Demon Emperor's natal demonic skill, the apocalyptic demonic saber, was indeed brutal. This demon emperor had killed countless demons with this slash, leaving their corpses scattered across thousands of miles. In the past, when Xiao Han's demonic power was not as strong as Qing Lin Demon Emperor's, the slash was still immature and shallow. But now, Xiao Han's demonic power had surpassed Qing Lin Demon Emperor's. When he used the apocalyptic demonic saber again, he managed to kill a veteran demon warrior who was ranked 7th on the demon ranking with just one slash. The demon warrior's arms exploded, and he fled in a sorry state. It was too powerful, too domineering. Xiao Han hovered in the air and looked down at the world. He completely revealed the spirit and aura of a great expert. He had developed a kind of atmosphere and a subtle sense of control. Ha 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 ha. The remaining demon warriors were all dumbfounded as if they had facial paralysis. Their throats even let out the sound of owls. The next moment, good. Xiao Han, you are indeed powerful. You are a genius, a young hero. We are no match for you. Impressive. You have cultivated to this level at such a young age. It is really shocking. You will definitely be famous in the future. Sooner or later you will occupy a place on the demon ranking. Sorry for offending you. Let's go. The 4 heroes of Mount Luyan did not say anything. They burned their true qi and turned it into 4 rays of golden gung qi. The sword radiance traveled 1,000 miles and they escaped in the blink of an eye. It's a demonic technique. Xiao Han, you have gone astray. I will complain to the higher-ups of the Demon Hero Tower about this. Let's see how you deal with it then. Jin Shanxiong also used his strongest movement technique and escaped. I will not get involved in this. But Xiao Han, remember, evil is self-destructive. You have cultivated demonic techniques and abandoned yourself. You will definitely be punished. Yang Hong also flashed past. Xiao Han, you are dead meat. As long as you dare to return to the Demon Hero Tower, there will naturally be people who will deal with you. This demonic power is comparable to that of a high-level demon emperor. It is not something that humans can control. In order to obtain power, you have gone berserk. You will become the public enemy of all demon warriors. Everyone has the right to punish you. Take care of yourself. Nie Saner and Zhou Chuan also roared fiercely, then used everything they had to flee for their lives. In the blink of an eye, the group of demons who had surrounded Xiao Han in a menacing manner and were shouting to kill him fled as if they were avoiding snakes and scorpions. Xiao Han didn't chase after him. Forget it, I won't chase after these guys. After all, they were all villains, so it was unreasonable for them to chase after him relentlessly. However, if they provoke me again in the future, they'll either be crippled or dead in my hands. Xiao Han smiled. Afterwards, he materialized his true qi again and released the spirit turtle, continuing on his way. When I was fighting Garen in the Hex contest, I used the world-destroying demon blade. It seems that no one came to question me or make things difficult for me. It seemed that I had nothing to worry about. He would return to the Yaoxia Tower and collect the 1 million contribution points first before deciding on his next move. Or continue to accept missions, or use these contribution points to visit the various secret cultivation rooms in the Yaoxia Pagoda to see if I can make a breakthrough in the cultivation of true qi. The spirit turtle turned into a streak of light and flew straight out of the great wilderness. Xiao Han didn't plan to visit the villagers and Princess Mo Hen for the time being. On the one hand, Xiao Mingchu had already left the ancient village. On the other hand, Xiao Han had made many strong enemies. If people knew that he had a great relationship with the ancient village that stood aloof from worldly affairs, it might bring disaster to the ancient village, a paradise. 3 days later, Xiao Han finally flew out of the great wilderness. After thinking for a while, Xiao Han didn't rush back to the Pure Rain sect. Instead, he went straight to the Yaoxia region. Yaoxia Tower. The 5th floor. The mission issuance area. This was a misty space filled with treasure clouds and red light. The artistic conception was very profound. It was beautiful and spectacular. In the void, there were many announcement boards floating like fireflies. They were full of spirit chi and glistened like an immortal board. There were many demons here, using their spiritual waves to scan each announcement board and choose the mission that was suitable for them to complete. The person in charge of the mission issuance area on this floor was a middle-aged man in linen. He had a terrifying aura and his whole body was surging with golden light. There were suns and moons floating in his eyes. At this moment, the middle-aged man in linen stood with his hands behind his back straight like a javelin. At this moment, peng, a huge announcement board suddenly exploded in the void. It was colorful. The light was intense. It was a spectacular sight. A paragraph of text suddenly appeared. Mission 1. Kill the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor. 2. Destroy the Heavenly Wilderness Demon Fruit Forest planted by the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor in the Heavenly Dragon Empire of the Great Wilderness. Mission status. Completed by Unranked Demons Xiaohan completed alone. Any reward, OC 10,000 contribution points. As soon as the news spread, all the chivalrous heroes on this level were stunned. None of them moved at all. Their eyes were fixed on the void and they were lost in thought. Ha 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 ha, came from their throats. It was as if an invisible hand had grabbed their throats. The middle-aged man in linen was also dumbfounded. He even seemed to have lost his wits and was speechless. The originally lively and noisy environment suddenly quietened down. Everyone was suffocating. After 100 breaths of time. What? The mission to kill the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor has been completed? Oh my god. This is really, really, unbelievable. I heard that the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor hid in the Heavenly Dragon Empire of the Great Wilderness and took a treasure to conceal his demonic aura. Several demons died in the Heavenly Dragon Empire one after another. Even Li Fanming, who was ranked on the Demon Hero ranking, had to return in defeat. This mission was almost considered to be impossible to complete. In fact, there were even rumors that a few powerful figures couldn't bear it anymore and were preparing to leave the mountain. Now, the mission has actually been completed. The Azure Dragon Demon Emperor has been eliminated? Who did it? To be able to kill the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor, it must be one of the top demons. It might even be one of the top demons. No. Didn't you see? It was Xiaohan who killed the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor. You should be familiar with the name Xiaohan, right? He's the biggest dark horse of this year's demon selection. He suddenly rose up and crushed everything in his way to become a demon. He's said to have a bright future. I didn't expect him to kill the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor as soon as he became a demon. That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. This person is really a demon. What? Xiaohan? That young man? Impossible. The Azure Dragon Demon Emperor is a high-level demon emperor. Among the demons, his bloodline is noble and there's a possibility of mutation. His combat power is comparable to the demons on the demons ranking. Moreover, once he mutates, he can compete with some of the demons. Such a great demon can shatter mountains and rivers with a roar. How can he be killed by a rookie like Xiaohan? It's impossible. Nonsense. The demon token will record the true situation of the mission immediately and send the mission information back to the demon tower within a certain period of time. In the endless years, there has never been a mistake in the mission information. All right. Don't be so noisy. Something big. This is a big thing. I'm going to report this to the higher-ups immediately. There's going to be a peerless genius among the human demons. Heaven and earth. He killed a high-level demon emperor who might have mutated as soon as he became a demon. It's rare. In that case, Xiaohan has the quality to become an immortal. Is there going to be another immortal among the human race who will never die? No. I'm going to report this directly to the higher-ups. The middle-aged man in linen roared hysterically. He had lost control of his emotions. On the highest floor of the demon tower. On this floor there was a group of old antiques with powerful auras. They were all senior demons who used to be famous in the world. However, they had all retired and even gave up their positions on the demons ranking. They were in charge of some internal affairs in the demon tower, which was considered a carefree life. In the recent years, on a whim, this group of seniors had actually gathered infants with superb physiques and bloodlines from all over the 4 regions in the Grand Wilderness, and then they'd nurtured them with great care, allowing them to create a group of extraordinary geniuses that were renowned throughout the ages. After their efforts, they had selected the best from this group of talents to participate in this year's demon trial. They were going to amaze the world. Among them there was a genius named Garen, who was believed to be a peerless genius who would become an immortal in the future. He had a bright future. However, all of this was completely destroyed by a young man called Xiao Han. Garen had died. All the contestants in the demon domain were either dead or dead. The rest were all eliminated. This caused the group of ancients to lose all face, and they practically lost all standing and reputation. In the huge demon tower, they didn't dare to look up after being criticized. Naturally, they hated Xiao Han and the people related to Xiao Han to the bone. At this time, Li Fanming, why did you come to us? An old antique looked at Li Fanming indifferently. Li Fanming stood in the hall, neither servile nor overbearing, and smiled. Seniors, I have a matter to report. I'm sure that all the seniors here will be very interested in this matter. Oh, what's the matter? It's related to Xiao Han. A straightforward person doesn't beat around the bush. I, Li Fanming, also know that if it wasn't for Xiao Han, the disciples of all the seniors would have already become Hex Heroes. 3 to 5 years later they would definitely be ranked on the Hex Hero ranking. Especially Garen, it would only be a matter of time before he becomes a giant or even an eternal giant. But because of this Xiao Han, all of the plans of the seniors became nothing more than an illusion. The hatred that the seniors have towards Xiao Han, I'm afraid that even if you use the waters of 3 rivers and 5 lakes, it would still be difficult to wash it off, right? Li Fanming said unhurriedly. At the mention of Xiao Han's name, this group of antiques was furious. The runes in their eyes flickered and light surged, as if they were going to turn the hall upside down. Li Fanming, don't keep us guessing. What do you want to say? Just say it, an old antique said coldly. What do you know about Xiao Han? Well, seniors, you have been holding back. I think you are waiting for an opportunity. Once you get hold of Xiao Han's weakness, you will definitely step on him and make him doomed eternally. Now I will tell you a piece of news. Don't wait anymore. It's time for revenge. Say it. Say it. In the wilderness, Xiao Han used a powerful demonic technique to severely injure Lei Qiji, who is ranked 2487th on the demon ranking. What? Xiao Han can defeat Lei Qiji? Li Fanming, are you joking? How is that possible? Seniors, please don't doubt me. This information was sent to me by a few of my subordinates at the first possible moment. It is impossible for there to be any mistakes. It is absolutely true. Li Fanming smiled. Li Fanming, what do you want us to do? Li Fanming's tone became completely cold. Since ancient times, there have been thousands of human demons. Each of them had their own adventures and trump cards. Among them, there are many demons who have studied demonic techniques and even mastered demonic powers. But as far as I know, there are no demons who can use demonic techniques and demonic powers to such an extent as Xiao Han. Xiao Han's true chi cultivation is trash, only at the 4th level. All of his trump cards are related to the demons. Therefore, I have great doubts about this person. Even if he isn't a spy for the demons, he must be closely related to the demons. My words don't carry much weight, so I can't report this directly to my superiors. Seniors, please take this opportunity to report this matter. Let the superiors investigate Xiao Han. Investigate to the end. After a pause, Li Fanming lowered his voice. Everyone, the human race and the demons have always been irreconcilable. We are mortal enemies. Xiao Han's current demonic power is equivalent to that of a high-level demon emperor. Once the superiors investigate him, even if he doesn't die, he will lose a layer of skin. Even if it is proven that he isn't a spy for the demons, he won't be able to bear the consequences. I also have some grudges against Xiao Han. I want to take this opportunity to make Xiao Han suffer. I wonder if any of you are interested? These old antiques looked at each other and exchanged glances. Yes, this is an opportunity. Then, let's collectively complain to the superiors. That's right, we, the group of old antiques, will fight to the death with that thief Xiao Han. We won't let go of even the slightest opportunity. We'll make him suffer. Li Fanming, don't worry, we'll report this matter now. The news you brought is really satisfying. Thank you, seniors. Southern Region. Sect leader Dong Fangqin and Fang Ling were walking in the garden. Sect master, junior brother Xiao Han's 2 wives have adapted to the life of our pure maiden sect and are well behaved. However, they seem to be depressed all the time. They must be worried about junior brother Xiao Han, Dong Fangqin said with concern. Junior brother Xiao Han has been in the Great Wilderness for a few months. I don't know if he has encountered the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor. A few days ago, junior brother Xiao Han sent us a message to tell us that he is safe. However, we won't be at ease as long as he doesn't return. The Azure Dragon Demon Emperor is extremely dangerous. Junior brother Xiaohan was also full of pride and bravery, and he dared to fight and fight. Now, what I'm most worried about is that junior brother Xiaohan hasn't given up on the mission to kill the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor. I've sent a message to Xiaohan many times to ask him to come back, but... Sect leader was angry, but there was worry in his deep, vast and misty eyes. At this moment, sect leader's expression changed drastically and his body trembled. What? How is this possible? His jet black eyes were wide open. He had completely lost his composure. What's going on? Sect leader? Elder, what's wrong with you? Dongfang Qin and Fang Ling were both shocked. They had never seen sect leader lose control of his emotions in their lives. Sect leader's body trembled violently and he fell into a state of madness. He couldn't control himself. After a dozen breaths, he said with a trembling voice, "Something big happened. Xiaohan. Xiaohan killed the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor. According to the news from the Yaoxia Pagoda, Xiaohan completed the mission to kill the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor alone." Ah. Hearing that, Dongfang Qin and Fang Ling almost fainted. They felt dizzy and could not stand properly. Chapter 252. Xiaohan was eager to return home. He rode the spirit turtle and flew out of the wilderness like a meteor. He then crossed the north region and the west region and then the south region. He was about to reach the pure land of this world, the Devil Hero region. In a few hours I will fly into the territory of the Devil Hero region. Xiaohan sat cross-legged on the turtle shell and slowed down a little. He flew at a steady pace and was very calm. In his mind he was constantly thinking, "Let's go straight to the Devil Hero Tower. I have completed the mission of killing the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor, which will definitely cause some shock. After all, I've just become a Devil Hero, and I've already killed a high-level Demon Emperor at its peak. It's fine if I don't make a name for myself, but once I make a name for myself, I'll probably become famous." However, these were all illusory like fleeting clouds. The most important thing is to get the contribution points. With so many contribution points, I can go to those strange secret training rooms that the clan leader mentioned. It was said that there was a hyperbolic time chamber, a gravity chamber, and an illusory secret cultivation chamber. Interesting, just thinking about it makes me feel interesting. I will send a message to the clan leader and the others now and ask them to go to the Devil Hero Tower. After I receive the contribution points, I will treat the clan leader and the other senior brothers well and let them enjoy themselves in the rest area. The rest area of the Devil Hero Tower has a top-notch environment. Xiaohan was very excited. He took out the Devil Hero token and turned on the communication function. However, as soon as Xiaohan turned on the communication function, he first received a message. "Xiaohan?" It was a strange voice that Xiaohan had never heard before. It was a man's voice, and his tone exuded a sense of indifference and superiority. Who are you? I don't seem to know you. Also, I didn't add you in the communication bar. Why can you talk to me? Xiaohan immediately replied with a message. He was full of doubts. Soon, the unfamiliar voice transmitted a message to him. "Oh, Xiaohan, a few months ago you posted a mission in the Devil Hero Tower's mission release area, right? You want to find a Devil Hero who is proficient in the reincarnation divine fire to treat the poison on your friend's face. You haven't forgotten about this, have you?" "Oh, yes, I posted this mission. Yes. I am looking for a hero that is proficient in reincarnation god fire. Friend, do you know reincarnation god fire?" Xiaohan immediately became excited. The sores on Ah Chao's face were incurable. The only way to restore Ah Chao's appearance was to use the reincarnation divine fire to burn the scars on his face. The scar on Ah Chao's face was really scary. It was too hideous and disgusting. It made one's hair stand on end when one looked at it. It was very uncomfortable. However, Ah Chao was Xiaohan's best friend. The two of them were as close as brothers. Xiaohan was determined to help Ah Chao recover his handsome appearance. Xiaohan did not dare to forget about this at all times. "Yes, I'm untalented, but I happen to cultivate the divine reincarnation flame," the voice said slowly. Moreover, from his tone, it was as if he had Xiaohan in his grasp. "Xiaohan, as far as I know, there are not many heroes that cultivate the reincarnation god fire in the entire Yaoxia region. It's as rare as a phoenix feather or a unicorn horn. Moreover, even if you cultivate this martial art, I'm afraid you won't have the leisure to help your friend cure his hidden illness. I Huang Taiyuan want to make friends with you, Xiao Han, so I reluctantly accepted this mission. Xiao Han understood the meaning of the song. This Huang Taiyuan said a lot of nonsense. It was nothing more than a rare commodity. He wanted to ask for a sky-high price. It's okay. Friend Huang Taiyuan, I, Xiao Han, am not a stingy person. How much do you want? You can tell me. If it's not beyond my range, I'll accept it. Is this enough for a friend? Xiao Han sent a message. Ah, interesting. Huang Taiyuan laughed dryly. All right, Xiao Han, about the matter of the reward, let's talk about it face to face. How about this? I have time now. I'll wait for you in the Celestial Dragon Town, outside the Wuxia region. You can rush over immediately, no problem, right? After we meet, everything can be discussed. Okay. I'll reach the Celestial Stone Town in about 4 hours. We'll talk face to face then, Xiao Han answered very straightforwardly. All right, Xiao Han, I'll wait for you. Huang Taiyuan smiled again. Both sides ended the communication. It seems that this Huang Taiyuan is definitely going to extort me. He wants to extort money from me. Xiao Han laughed involuntarily. However, it's just to let him treat senior brother Ah Chao's injury on his face and release a little reincarnation divine fire. It'll be done effortlessly. How much can he extort from me for such a simple matter? Even if he's asking for an exorbitant price, tens of thousands of contribution points should be enough. If I kill the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor, I'll get tens of thousands of contribution points. It's not a big deal to be extorted by him. As long as it can cure the hidden illness on senior brother Ah Chao's face, it's worth it. Xiao Han's heart was full of anticipation as he muttered to himself with a smile. Senior brother Ah Chao, you're worried that you'll continue to be so ugly and picky in this life. However, I will definitely not leave you be. Watch carefully this time. I will make sure that you'll have an end to your bitterness and happiness. From now on, you'll be able to raise your head and not be looked down upon by others. Wuxia region. It was an elegant restaurant. In a private room by the window. In the private room, there were a total of 7 men sitting around a square table. All of them had sharp gazes, their bodies were glistening, and their true chi was smooth and flawless. Among them, there were 3 acupoint expansion realm experts whose bodies were as deep as the sea and their true chi was strong and surging like dragons. The leader of the group was a man in his 30s. He was short and his eyes were as sharp as an eagle's, giving off the impression that he was cunning and intelligent. Between his eyebrows, flames rose. These flames formed a hexagonal star, shooting up in a crisscross pattern. The star flames scattered in all directions, like thousands of golden bugs dancing in the sky, or like fireworks on a New Year's Day. It was a beautiful sight. Brother Huang Taiyuan, how did it go when you spoke to Xiao Han? Another acupoint expansion realm expert asked the short man. The short man was Huang Taiyuan, who had accepted the mission given by Xiao Han and cultivated the reincarnation divine fire. Xiao Han seems to be in a hurry. It's obvious that someone close to him is suffering from an illness and needs my reincarnation divine fire to treat him. Huang Taiyuan laughed sinisterly for a few times, and within his eyes, a plan was brewing. He looked unfriendly. Big brother Huang Taiyuan, are you preparing to extort a large sum of money from Xiao Han? It wasn't easy for me to cultivate the reincarnation divine fire. I obtained this mystic technique in the cave. You all know that I cultivated an ice-type mystic technique. In order to cultivate the reincarnation divine fire, I had to disperse my own mystic technique. Dispersing one's mystic technique is also a kind of torment, and the pain is not something that outsiders can understand. Furthermore, I recultivated my true chi and cultivated the reincarnation divine fire. It took me a cycle of 60 years to reach the beginner level. It was so difficult and full of ups and downs. How can I help Xiao Han for nothing with this mystic technique that I cultivated so hard? I'm not an idiot. Huang Taiyuan laughed coldly. That's right. A young man dressed in purple robes, who was elegant and suave, agreed. Brother Huang Taiyuan is right. Brother Huang is ranked first on the Devil Hero ranking and is also a top figure. In the Holy War a few years later, Brother Huang's ranking will definitely move up a bit. Right now, it's Xiao Han who needs Brother Huang's help. He is a newcomer who hasn't even made it onto the Devil Hero ranking, so he should take out some contribution points and treasures to accept Brother Huang. Even if it's just a friendship, he won't be at a disadvantage. Moreover, the news that Xiao Han killed the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor has almost spread. Once he returns to the Devil Hero Tower, he will be able to earn tens of thousands of contribution points. The young man in purple robes narrowed his eyes. Tens of thousands of contribution points? He's now very rich. It's not easy to find this opportunity. Who else can we blackmail if not him? This is not appropriate. Immediately, a devil hero shook his head. Brother Huang, think about it. Xiao Han can even kill the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor. I'm afraid we won't be able to suppress him even if we join forces. Moreover, he might retaliate and slap us in the face. In my opinion, it's okay to blackmail him, but we can't do it too harshly. Huang Taiyuan tapped the table with his knuckles and said while thinking. The news that Xiao Han killed the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor has spread like wildfire. Many devil heroes are talking about it. Basically, everyone thinks that it's impossible for Xiao Han to kill the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor. Think about it. Although Xiao Han performed extremely well in the devil hero trial and became the biggest dark horse, he's still too inexperienced. He won't be able to do much. In terms of true chi cultivation, it's a mess. Although his physical body is strong, it's only a few million ding at most. It's just brute force and he won't be able to do much. He also knows some demonic techniques, but he's not a demon. Hence, it's a big problem for him to replenish his demonic power. He only knows 3 tricks that are more than enough to deal with those below the expanded aperture realm. However, it's not enough to deal with those at the expanded aperture realm. The Azure Dragon Demon Emperor is a high-level demon emperor that's about to mutate. His combat strength is above most expanded aperture realm cultivators. How long has it been since Xiao Han became a devil hero? It's only been a few months. How could he kill the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor? Even if he's talented, it's impossible for him to increase his combat strength to such a level within a few months. Humans can be monstrous, but they can't be that monstrous. So, after intense discussions, many devil heroes came to a conclusion. It's impossible for Xiao Han to kill the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor. In that case, how do you explain Xiao Han completing the mission to kill the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor? Everyone's gaze was on the eloquent Huang Taiyuan. Some people said that the eldest disciple of the Pure Cloud sect, Xiao Mingqiu, left the sect with Xiao Han and went to the Great Wilderness. Who is Xiao Mingqiu? He's a powerhouse on the Devil Hero leaderboard. He could seal the Demon Emperor with one arrow. Xiao Han is extremely favored in the Pure Cloud sect. Hence, it's very likely that a super expert like Xiao Mingqiu first injured the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor and handed him over to Xiao Han to kill him. He helped Xiao Han achieve his goal and made him famous. Brother Huang, that makes sense. Every word you say is a gem. I've already arranged to meet Xiao Han in the Celestial Dragon Town outside the Devil Hero domain. Let's go there together now. After meeting Xiao Han, we'll see how strong he is and see if he's strong enough. If he's really strong, I won't extort him. Instead, I won't take a single cent from him and treat his friend for free. That way he'll owe me a favor. However, if I find out that Xiao Han is just an empty shell, I'll extort him. Didn't he kill the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor? I don't want anything else, including contribution points. I just want him to hand over the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor crystal. Hiss. Brother Huang, you have a big appetite. You're actually coveting the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor crystal. That kind of high-level Demon Emperor crystal can be exchanged for more than 10,000 contribution points. The other devil heroes gasped. All in all, it's better to move forward. Although the world is big, there are very few martial artists who are good at the divine reincarnation fire. I happen to be one of them. I'm a rare commodity. The initiative is in my hands. I'm now advancing step by step and steadily killing Xiao Han. I won't be at a disadvantage. Let's go to the Celestial Dragon Town. The group of devil heroes left the restaurant under Huang Taiyuan's lead and went straight to the Celestial Dragon Town outside the Devil Hero domain. Chapter 253. Xiao Han was anxious about A Chao's illness for many years, so he rushed to the town in a hurry. The Celestial Dragon Town was adjacent to the Yaoxia region. It was a pure land where there were no demons. The sky was clear, and the fragrance of rouge flowed in the air. Xiao Han walked in the Celestial Dragon Town and looked around. There were many buildings made of agarwood in the town. They were exquisite and extremely beautiful. Those who walked in the town were all Yaoxia. However, most of them were below expanded acupoint realm, and their auras weren't too powerful. Zhang Xian reckoned that most of them weren't ranked on the devil ranking board, and they weren't ranked at all. There were a lot of Yaoxia in this world. There were about 5-6 million of them. Those who could get a place on the Yaoxia leaderboard were, after all, very few. However, in the Celestial Dragon Town, there were many expanded point realm experts, but they were few in number. Every one of them was worshipped by the other low-level Yaoxia. It seems that I have to get a place on the Yaoxiao leaderboard. The higher the ranking, the better. If I get a high ranking, I won't get the respect of other Yaoxiao, but at least there won't be so many trash provoking me, right? Xiao Han suddenly thought. If there's a chance, I must get a place on the Yaoxiao leaderboard. If I can use demonic techniques, it shouldn't be a problem to get a place on the leaderboard. Eh? Xiao Han. It's Xiao Han. That's right. I've seen the video of this year's Yaoxia trial. That person is Xiao Han, a young hero. Xiao Han, the hero who killed the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor and has been in the limelight recently? He looks travel-worn. He should have just returned from the wilderness. Let's go and take a look. It'll be best if we can befriend him. Xiao Han's appearance caused a commotion in the town. A large number of low-level Yaoxia swarmed over like a tide. A few expanded point realm Yaoxia immediately turned their attention to Xiao Han. They observed and evaluated him with interest. However, they didn't rush up to him because of their status. Xiao Han? A white-clothed girl blushed and played with the corner of her clothes while mustering her courage. Xiao Han, can we be friends? Xiao Han. I heard that you killed the Green Dragon Demon Emperor. You're really powerful. You are indeed a young hero. Now that I've seen you in person, I finally know that you, Xiao Han, are as fast as lightning and have an extraordinary aura. Xiao Han, let's be friends. Amasenyu. Currently, I don't have a ranking on the monster ranking list, but I'm a promising young man. I'm very motivated and I'll make a name for myself sooner or later. Be friends with me. Xiao Han. Let me introduce my younger sister to you. Xiao Han, I have an elder sister who is extremely charming. I wonder if you're interested? Xiao Han, you are so talented. In the future, you will definitely be an overlord that will shock the world. You will shine brilliantly. You will be my boss. For a moment, Xiao Han was surrounded by 3 layers of people. The densely packed low-level chivalrous spirits flattered him and sang his praises. It was extremely corny and made Xiao Han's hair stand on end. He said hurriedly. Do you guys know that I killed the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor? It's been spread out for a long time. A slender young man said non-stop. Brother Xiao Han, you're now an influential figure. You've become the focus of the entire chivalrous region. How did you manage to kill the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor? Can you tell me about it? You're a genius. Quickly tell me about the process of killing the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor. Don't worry, I've always been eloquent. I'll definitely exaggerate it for you. I'll give a speech everywhere and make your name even more famous. Spread it far and wide. Sweat. This is not necessary. I killed the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor by luck. It's a stroke of luck. There's no way to stop it. How should I put it? When I killed the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor, he was already seriously injured and on the verge of death. There's really nothing much to say. Luck. If it were you guys, it would have been a piece of cake for you to kill the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor under those circumstances. Xiao Han finally understood the true meaning of the saying, a man is afraid of fame just as a pig is afraid of being fat. Hence, he lied to them and tried to get rid of these overly enthusiastic fellows. Everyone, please make way, I still have important matters to attend to. Xiao Han. Luck is also a form of strength. No matter what, the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor died in your hands. I'm afraid others don't have your luck. A loud and clear voice rang out. Immediately after, a tangible aura swept towards Xiao Han. The low-level heroes surrounding Xiao Han all stepped aside and looked in the direction of the voice. Huang Taiyuan? Xiao Han recognized the voice. It was the voice of the person who had just sent a message to him, claiming that he had accepted the mission he had issued. It was the voice of the person who was proficient in the reincarnation divine flame. Xiao Han also looked over. Xiao Han saw a total of 7 people walking toward him. Among them, 3 had bodies as deep as the ocean. Xiao Han could not figure out their cultivations. At the very least, he was at Aperture Expansion Realm. The leader had black hair that fluttered in the wind. Although he was short, his entire body contained an indescribable aura. Although he did not show his power, the low-level demons around him all retreated. In a short period of time, everything was silent, making him the only one in the world. He stood out from the crowd, extraordinary and refined. In between his eyebrows, a strange flame was brewing. It was more dazzling than fireworks, but it was obvious that it was not an ordinary true fire. Reincarnation divine flame? This is the reincarnation divine flame? Xiao Han was stunned. Immediately after, he quickly made an evaluation of Huang Taiyuan. This person is undoubtedly at Aperture Expansion Realm, and not an ordinary one at that. His cultivation is not inferior to that Lei Qixi. Logically speaking, there should be many people on the demons ranking. They are fresh troops to kill demons and have endless potential. What a coincidence. Treating senior brother Acho actually attracted such a powerful person. But it's okay. Although his aura is strong, I, Xiaohan, am not necessarily afraid of him. I just have to be careful. While Xiaohan was observing and evaluating Huang Taiyuan and the others were also analyzing Xiaohan. At this moment, Xiaohan had only sealed the power of his flesh shell, and his true qi cultivation was exposed. The quality of his Jinqi wasn't very high either. It was only a Duan 4. It was sloppy and ordinary, and it was easy to see with a single glance. Oh, level 4 true qi? He opened 36 true qi points, a rookie among rookies. That's right. Maybe his flesh shell is different from ordinary people, but for us martial artists, cultivating true qi is the way to become an immortal. Everything else is unorthodox. This Xiaohan is obviously putting the cart before the horse. Now that I have seen him with my own eyes, I don't think that he is a good person. Garen's death was really unjust. He was actually killed by such a person. What a pity. That's right, Brother Huang. Hearing about Xiaohan is not as good as seeing him in person. This Xiaohan is indeed a little unbelievable. Actually, looking up, down, left and right, no matter what, I can't relate him to anyone. Amazingly talented, and other similar words were linked together. Could it be that he really lives up to his reputation? I also think that he couldn't have killed the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor. This person's aura is too ordinary and he looks silly. He doesn't look like a shrewd person but more like a country bumpkin. What he said just now is probably the truth. When the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor was seriously injured, he happened to bump into him and killed him with one strike. Once and for all. Huang Taiyuan and the others were also using the evil hero token to communicate telepathically. Finally, the two sides met. Hello, Xiaohan. Huang Taiyuan said indifferently. Xiaohan did not move and smiled faintly. My friend Huang Taiyuan, my friends, hello. Xiaohan, you're the one who issued the mission to find the evil hero who is proficient in the divine reincarnation fire true qi to treat the poison on your friend's face, right? Huang Taiyuan squinted at Xiaohan. Yes, I'll have to trouble my friend Huang Taiyuan to help me with this matter. We're all evil heroes and we'll take care of each other. However, my friend Huang Taiyuan, don't worry. I'm Xiaohan, and I'm not a reckless person who doesn't understand etiquette. As for the reward, I'll definitely satisfy you. Ha ha, no problem, no problem. Huang Taiyuan said with a fake smile. Alright, let's find a restaurant and discuss this matter while drinking. After saying that, Huang Taiyuan exchanged glances with the other evil heroes. Xiaohan immediately understood that Huang Taiyuan was not a person who was easy to talk to. This person was cunning and intelligent, and he had an expression that liked to take advantage of others. Xiaohan was not willing to deal with such a person, but for the sake of senior brother Ah Chao's hidden illness, Xiaohan could only force a smile and feign civility. Soon Xiaohan, Huang Taiyuan, and the others came to a private room in a restaurant. My friend Xiaohan, you've become famous after killing the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor. Come, let's toast to you. Huang Taiyuan raised his cup. Huang Taiyuan's friends also pretended to raise their cups and wanted to get close to Xiaohan. Xiaohan became anxious and reluctantly drank a cup of wine with these people. My friend Huang Taiyuan, let's talk business. About my friend's injury on his face, It's okay. It's still early. Let's talk slowly. My friend Xiaohan, the few of us sincerely accept you. Huang Taiyuan waved his hand and interrupted Xiaohan's words. My friend Xiaohan, please don't take offense to what I said, but your true qi cultivation base is indeed a little inferior. Currently, your true qi cultivation base is only at level 4. Among the millions of evil heroes in the entire evil hero world, I'm afraid you're at the bottom. My aptitude is poor. I've cultivated for as long as the others, but I've achieved very little. Xiaohan smiled faintly. Another cave expansion realm evil hero's eyes were filled with arrogance. In that case, Xiaohan, how did you kill the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor? Did you just rely on the strength of your body? That's unbelievable. I've said it just now. When I killed the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor, he was already at his limit. I was just lucky. Xiaohan said anxiously. Did Xiao Mingqiu help you kill the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor? Huang Taiyuan stared at Xiaohan. Xiaohan was really annoyed by the pestering. It was impossible for him to tell a group of irrelevant and annoying people how he was imprisoned in the Heavenly Dragon Empire's Imperial City's totem habitat, how he devoured pure-blooded sky dragons and pure-blooded Swanee, how he risked his life to kill Azure Dragon Xiaohan, and how he killed him. Therefore Xiaohan casually agreed. How do you know that it was my big senior brother Xiao Mingchu who helped me? Yes, that's what happened. Senior brother Xiao Mingchu's godly arrow was invincible. He injured the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor with one arrow, which allowed me to kill him easily. Are you all satisfied with what I've said? Alright, let's get down to business. Everyone, what price do you need to pay to heal my friend's injury? I don't like to beat around the bush. Let's get straight to the point. My friend Huang Taiyuan, how many contribution points do you need to be willing to help? Name a price and we'll negotiate. Ha ha ha. As I expected, it was Xiao Mingchu who helped me. Huang Taiyuan was relieved. Then he raised his eyelids slightly. Xiaohan, you have to know that it's extremely rare to find a hero who is good at the reincarnation divine fire in the entire world of heroes. I found the reincarnation divine fire in a cave. It's rare to see a swordsman with a fortuitous encounter like mine. Let's put it this way. Other than me, Huang Taiyuan, who can heal your friend's injury, other heroes who are stronger than me might not be able to heal him. How much do you want? Xiaohan's face darkened slightly. Huang Taiyuan looked at Xiaohan meaningfully. Xiaohan, I admire you very much. I want to be friends with you so that we can take care of each other in the future. How about this? I don't want the contribution points. However, since you killed the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor, can you lend me the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor crystal for a few days? Xiaohan was instantly enraged when he heard that. His expression changed slightly, and the tattoo on the demon monarch's palm on his left arm moved slightly. It emitted a dangerous aura. Xiaohan, what's with that expression? Why are you showing us such an expression? The other Acupoint Expansion Realm cultivator said sternly. Xiaohan, you have to understand the situation. You're the one who needs our help, not the other way around. Moreover, Brother Huang has made it very clear that only Brother Huang can heal your friend's injury. There's no other way. Now, you're refusing to lend me the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor crystal for a few days? Then there's no room for negotiation. Brother Huang, let's go. Bang! Suddenly, Xiaohan slammed the table, and the wine cups and plates on the table were shattered into pieces. Your wishful thinking is really brilliant. Blackmail people? Blackmail me, Xiaohan? How dare you ask for my Azure Dragon Demon Emperor crystal? Are you trying to bully me because I don't have a temper? Xiaohan's face turned ashen as he stood up. Huang Taiyuan, whether you agree or not, you have to heal my friend's face. If you agree, everyone will be happy. If you don't, I'll beat you until you agree. It's fine if I, Xiaohan, don't cause trouble, but someone actually dares to offend me? It's fine if you're some ancient powerhouse, but you're just a few small fries. How dare you? Do you believe that I can break your limbs at any time? A murderous aura burst forth from Xiaohan's body. His aura, which had previously been harmless, suddenly became majestic. It was as if he had become a completely different person. Chapter 254. Xiaohan flew into a rage. When he met Huang Taiyuan, Xiaohan had already expected that he would be extorted by Huang Taiyuan. At that time, Xiaohan thought that Huang Taiyuan was asking for an exorbitant price and that it would at most be tens of thousands of contribution points. However, he did not expect Xiaohan to ask for the Green Dragon Demon Emperor crystal. This was simply going too far. He had completely treated Xiaohan as a sucker. This was intolerable. Huang Taiyuan and the others were also shocked. They hadn't expected that Xiaohan would turn hostile so quickly. Not only did he roar at them, but he also threatened to kill them. His killing intent was so strong that Huang Taiyuan were shocked. Bang! Huang Taiyuan slammed the table and stood up abruptly. Several of his chivalrous hero friends also took advantage of the situation and stood up, their faces all ferocious. They had observed Xiaohan for a while. They felt that Xiaohan was too ordinary and there was nothing special about him. His aura was too mediocre. He was only able to kill the Green Dragon Demon Emperor because of Xiao Mingchu's help. If Xiaohan's battle prowess was truly outstanding, his aura was vigorous, and he could move like the wind with lightning, then it would be fine. They could just bear with it and talk to Xiaohan politely. However, Xiaohan was just a good-looking but useless embroidered pillow, deceiving the world to gain fame, so there was no need for them to be polite to Xiaohan. Xiaohan. I, Huang Taiyuan, accepted the mission you issued out of goodwill, and did not hesitate to consume my hard-earned true qi to heal your friend. Not only did you not appreciate my kindness, but you also spoke ill of me and made a false countercharge. What is the meaning of this? Huang Taiyuan pointed at Xiaohan and laughed viciously. His eyes were filled with killing intent. Xiaohan, you're unruly and arrogant. You think that you've had some fortuitous encounters. Do you want to behave atrociously? Your true chi cultivation is a mess and you're worlds away from the expanded acupoint realm. With your aptitude, you'll need decades or centuries to reach the expanded acupoint realm. Everyone knows that everything is just empty talk if you don't reach the expanded acupoint realm. You probably relied on your connections in the sect, Xiao Mingchu, Wu Bo, and so on to swindle people. Save it. If you really think you're capable. I'd like to see how powerful you are. Another cave-expanding realm fiend. He also couldn't stop sneering. Xiaohan. You probably thought that in the Hex Hero trials, you defeated the group of young people from the Hex Hero region. You think you can rule over an area just because of that? Ah. What a joke. To tell you the truth, those little bastards, including Garen, are nothing more than a bunch of good-for-nothings. A silk pants raised by a group of old antiques. How arrogant. How could he be compared with us, who fought with our fists and kicks? Ever since we were young, we've been diligent in our cultivation, slaying demons and eradicating devils. We've been tempered into steel. It's no big deal for you to defeat those good-for-nothings. Only by defeating us can you call yourself a genius. How about it? Do you dare to play with us? If you are defeated by us, let's play with that Azure Dragon Demon Emperor crystal for a few days. What do you think? Do you have the guts? If the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor crystal were to be exchanged for contribution points in the Yaoxiao Pagoda, it would definitely be worth millions of contribution points. Its value was much greater than the mission of killing the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor. Therefore, Huang Taiyuan and the other swordsmen were going all out. They had to get the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor crystal no matter what. They were completely blinded by greed. Xiaohan didn't move. He rolled his eyes a few times and sneered. I heard that it's strictly forbidden to fight among swordsmen. How do you want to fight? Do you want to go to the Yaoxiao Pagoda to apply for a fight? Ha, are you scared? Are you scared now? Weren't you very impressive just now? Huang Taiyuan said disdainfully. Let me tell you, as long as you don't kill anyone, it's okay to play with the rules between swordsmen. Don't worry, we won't kill you. We'll just teach you a lesson and polish your edges so that you can learn to be tactful and judge the situation. In the future, when you go out, you'll know how to behave and how to be reserved. This is also a good thing for you. Let's fight in this celestial dragon town. How about it? Huang Taiyuan's attitude was completely aggressive. He almost didn't allow Xiaohan to object. It was as if he wanted to kill Xiaohan. Ah, you can play with the rules? Xiaohan burst out laughing. Don't talk nonsense. Xiaohan, our ranking on the list of swordsmen is neither high nor low, and you don't even have a ranking. We can just fight casually, and the higher-ups don't have the time to care about us, another swordsman shouted impatiently. In that case, that's exactly what I want. It saves me from having to worry about anything. Since you want the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor crystal, come and get it with your real ability. However, don't refuse to treat my friend's injury after I defeat you. You're also famous people on the list, and I don't think you'll go back on your words. Xiaohan stretched his body. Let's go. Let's fight in the back mountain of the celestial dragon town. Finish it quickly. Hehe, the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor crystal is mine. Huang Taiyuan flicked his sleeves and went down the restaurant with a few swordsmen. Xiaohan followed closely behind. They all went down the restaurant, and all of them were full of murderous intent as they walked toward the back mountain of the celestial dragon town. Xiaohan's face was gloomy, and Huang Taiyuan and the others were livid. They all looked unfriendly. Along the way, many low-level swordsmen began to discuss with each other. Xiaohan? That's Huang Taiyuan, ranked 2598th on the list of swordsmen. He was also a hero and an arrogant person. Xiaohan and Huang Taiyuan are together? No, why are they so aggressive? It seems like they have a grudge against each other. Wait, they didn't say a word and went to the back mountain. Are they going to fight? Let's follow them. Why? Are we going to watch a fight? Let's go. I haven't seen such a fierce fight for a long time. One of them is a genius who has been in the limelight recently, and the other is a senior swordsman. If they really fight, it'll be a good show. It'll be a waste not to watch. The behavior of Xiaohan, Huang Taiyuan, and the others not only attracted a large number of low-level swordsmen, but also a few cave expansion state swordsmen in the celestial dragon town. Therefore, Xiaohan and the others walked in front of them. A large group of swordsmen followed behind them. When they arrived at the back mountain, there were already hundreds of swordsmen behind them. There was a huge empty space in the back mountain. It was 100 acres of flat land. Xiaohan, let's fight here. Since you're so arrogant, I, Huang Taiyuan, will teach you a lesson. Huang Taiyuan licked his lips. I told you to finish the fight quickly. That's right. But don't worry, I won't kill you. After saying that, Huang Taiyuan stood on the empty ground. His true qi surged and countless reincarnation divine fires surrounded him, making him look dreamy. Huang Taiyuan crooked his finger at Xiao Han. Come on Xiao Han, let's fight. Don't be afraid. After saying that, Huang Taiyuan was in high spirits. He glanced at the swordsmen who were watching. Then he pretended to speak in a loud voice. Xiao Han, you're still young. You're still young. Your headstrong and self-opinionated personality will only make you suffer. Fight with me. It's nothing. At most, you'll suffer some superficial wounds. You'll learn from your mistakes. You won't be so arrogant when you go out. It's better than being killed by the enemy or eaten by the demons, right? I'm teaching you a lesson, not bullying you. You have to be clear about this. After he said that, the onlookers were in an uproar. He's really going to fight? Iske Huang Taiyuan's words are so high-sounding. He said that he's going to teach Xiao Han a lesson. This Xiao Han is really a restless person. Recently, he became famous after killing the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor. Now that he's back, he's going to fight Huang Taiyuan, who's ranked 2598th on the swordsman leaderboard. This person really likes to be in the limelight. At this moment, Xiao Han walked into the empty ground slowly. His eyes were full of fighting spirit. He looked at Huang Taiyuan and said, Huang Taiyuan, there are 7 of you. Including you, there are 3 acupoint expanding realm cultivators. How about this? I'll save myself some trouble. The 3 of you can come at me together. As for the other 4 who are at level 5 true qi, I'm not interested. After he said that, the onlookers were dumbfounded. Wasn't he a little too arrogant? He actually dared to say that he wanted to fight 1 against 3. A Duan 4 Jinshi newbie was challenging 3 expanded point realm experts at the same time. This was simply a miraculous event that was rarely seen throughout history. After all, no one had witnessed Xiao Han killing the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor with their own eyes. Just as everyone had analyzed, there might be something fishy about it. Besides, Xiao Han admitted that he was lucky to have killed the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor. Yet, the sight of Zhang Xian facing off against 3 acupoint expansion realm cultivators happened right before the eyes of the spectating demonic heroes. This caused many people to think that Xiao Han was being too reckless and overestimating his own capabilities. Ha! Xiao Han. I think you're hopeless. He's seriously ill. The other 2 acupoint expansion realm cultivators who came with Huang Taiyuan couldn't help but take a step forward. One of them was like a peerless sword hidden within its sharpness, wanting to slay everything in its path. His entire body released a majestic sword intent, giving him the demeanor of a grandmaster of the way of the sword. Hu Xiaofeng, ranked 3222nd on the Monster Warrior leaderboard. One of the spectating demonic heroes called out his name. The other one had a full forehead and great ambition in his eyes. His Jinshi was like a huge river, creating huge waves one after another. Zhou Donglai, ranked 3401 on the Monster Warrior leaderboard. The 3 acupoint expansion realm cultivators glared at Xiao Han, preparing to attack. At this moment, all right, let's fight. If I, Xiao Han, want you to lose, you will lose. Suddenly, Xiao Han let out a ferocious roar. The next moment, an obscure wave of demonic aura shot up into the sky. Demonic aura lingered, imprisoning for eternity. In an instant, 3 ancient demonic talismans came crashing down. These 3 ancient demonic talismans were ancient, mysterious, and contained the terrifying power to seal people, ghosts, immortals, and gods. Sky Demon God Seal. Xiao Han directly drained the demonic energy in his 93,000 demonic meridians and used them to create 3 talismans, shrouding his 3 opponents. Fast, accurate, ruthless, sparing no demonic energy. End the battle quickly. Boom, boom, boom. The 3 monster warriors, Huang Taiyuan, Zhou Donglai, and Hu Xiaofeng, did not even have time to react before they were sealed. Huang Taiyuan was sealed for 2 breaths. Zhou Donglai was sealed for 4 breaths. Hu Xiaofeng was sealed for 4 breaths. Xiao Han did not hesitate to attack. Furthermore, he had been hiding his strength well and admitted that the Green Dragon Demon Emperor was injured by Xiao Mingqiu, so he went to pick up the slack. This made Huang Taiyuan and the others think that Xiao Han was very weak. Therefore they did not guard against him and fell into his trap. Roar! Xiao Han let out a shrill roar and charged at Huang Taiyuan, tearing through the air. The power of his flesh shell surged like thunder, and he slapped Huang Taiyuan in the face. Pooh! Huang Taiyuan felt as if he was struck by lightning. Blood splattered everywhere and all his teeth were broken. He spat out a mouthful of blood and was sent flying more than 10 meters away. He landed heavily on the ground and kept coughing out blood. Bang, bang. In the blink of an eye, Zhou Donglai and Hu Xiaofeng were also slapped to the ground. Their bodies were bent over, twitching and moaning in pain. Xiao Han had slapped 3 monster warriors in one go. His moves were clean and precise and the whole place was silent. You are just a few useless people. How dare you try to blackmail me? Xiao Han's lips curled up. He was indescribably arrogant. However, since we are all monster warriors, I will show you mercy. I will only let you suffer a little. Otherwise, I will beat you to death or cripple you. Chapter 255. Xiao Han first used the Sky Demon Investiture technique to seal his opponent's jinqi and movements. Then he used the power of his flesh shell to send his opponent flying. The combination of demonic arts and the power of his flesh shell complemented each other perfectly. The 3 expanded Acupoint Realm demon heroes were all respected figures in their own regions. In the secular world, they were worshipped by the commoners. However, in the blink of an eye, they were knocked to the ground by Xiao Han. They didn't even have the chance to resist. Everyone was shocked. The low-level heroes as well as the few expanded Acupoint Realm heroes, who had been chattering non-stop a moment ago, had all shut up. All of them were staring at Xiao Han, dumbfounded as though they had seen a ghost. I've said it before. If you want to extort me, I'll beat you up. Xiao Han harumphed and walked towards Huang Taiyuan, who was wriggling on the ground like a maggot. Xiao Han had a good grasp of his strength when he knocked down Huang Taiyuan and the other 2. He wouldn't kill or cripple them. At the very most, he would only make the 3 expanded Acupoint Realm demon heroes temporarily lose their ability to fight. Of course, they would still suffer physical pain and bone pain. However, the expanded Acupoint Realm demon heroes had vast amounts of jinqi. Even though their flesh shells weren't as strong as the barbarians of the Great Wilderness, they could still use their jinqi to temper their bodies. Xiao Han walked to Huang Taiyuan's side. He bent down. All of Huang Taiyuan's teeth had been shattered, and his entire body was spasming. Snot and tears flowed from his nose, and his eyes were filled with fear and despair. Blood frothed at the corner of his mouth, and a gurgling sound came from his throat as he spoke in a feeble voice. Xiao Han, what else do you want to do? You are actually so powerful. I miscalculated. Xiao Han. Don't do anything rash. Please don't kill me. It's not easy for me to cultivate to this level. I was wrong this time. There will be places where you will appear in the future. I will definitely disappear. How about it? I've completely given in to you. Please let me off. Huang Taiyuan's heart was filled with bitterness. Initially, he wanted to make a plan before taking action. He thought that Xiao Han was just a conceited and arrogant person. That was why he was certain that he would defeat Xiao Han. He was prepared to extort the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor Crystal. But unexpectedly, Xiao Han actually killed the 3 expanded Acupoint Realm cultivators in an instant. It didn't matter what methods he used. An instant kill was an instant kill. There was no doubt about that. Moreover, Huang Taiyuan was an experienced cultivator. He knew that if it wasn't for Xiao Han's mercy, the 3 of them would already be cold corpses. At this point, Huang Taiyuan finally believed that the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor should have been killed by Xiao Han. It was impossible for him to have been killed by someone else. Huang Taiyuan cursed in his heart. Pretentious? This kid is too pretentious. Xiao Han is too pretentious. If this kind of person goes out, I don't know how many people will die from his schemes. I am convinced this time. This guy is destined to be a formidable character. I will be defeated by his hands. I can Xiao Han will spirit Xiao Han is Luo Qi. Is in the future wherever he is, I'll just have to avoid him. In this life I won't be his enemy. Xiao Han Demon Hero Xiao Han. Xiao Han, Xiao. And one of clan Xiao Han of. Xiao Realm Cultivators. One of Xiao of them. Our common enemy is the Demon Clan. I'm not interested in killing each other. I hate it. Huang Taiyuan, my friend, when you are free, can you make a trip to the Southern Region Fire Beacon Empire's Pure Cloud sect? There is a person called Cho in the outer sect of the Pure Cloud sect. He is a good friend of mine. Senior Martial Brother Cho has a hidden illness on his face. He has a poisonous sore. I need to use the Reincarnation Divine Fire True Chi to burn off Senior Martial Brother Cho's poisonous sore. Hearing this, Huang Taiyuan felt as if a heavy burden had been lifted from his shoulders. He had completely survived the disaster and quickly interrupted Xiao Han. All right. Xiao Han, I will go to the Pure Cloud sect tomorrow to treat your friend Ah Chao's face. Don't worry, leave this matter to me, Huang Taiyuan. There won't be any slip-ups. If I can't treat Ah Chao's face, you will blame me. How about that? I will leave tomorrow. Good. That's for the best. Thank you, my friend Huang Taiyuan. Don't worry. I will not mistreat you. Tens of thousands of contribution points is not a problem. Xiao Han smiled. I don't dare. I don't dare to ask for a reward from you. Huang Taiyuan said in fear. I won't take a single cent. I won't take a single cent. After negotiating with Huang Taiyuan for a while, Xiao Han stood up and left the Immortal Dragon Town. He walked towards the Devil Hero region. Countless low-level Devil Heroes were intimidated by Xiao Han's imposing manner. They automatically made way for Xiao Han. Everyone held their breath. After Xiao Han left, some of the Devil Heroes started to whisper to each other, Amazing! Too amazing. He killed without hesitation. In just one move he killed 3 experienced Expanded Point Realm Devil Heroes. He is a genius. From what I can see, there will be a promising young man on the Devil Hero ranking. However, it seems like Xiao Han used a demonic technique. His demonic strength is comparable to a high-level Demon Emperor. I wonder if this is against the rules. Devil Hero Pagoda. The top floor. There was only one room on the top floor of the Devil Hero Pagoda. The thick metal door was tightly shut. Countless ancient characters and talismans were engraved on the metal door. There were also star veins extending on the metal door. All kinds of strange phenomena could be seen. There was a holy light as vast as the sea. There were even traces of immortal chi. It was supreme. If anyone looked at the door for a long time, they would feel a suction force that would suck their soul into a vast and mysterious world. Strands of destructive aura lay dormant within the door, and it caused the heavens and the earth and the universe to tremble before it. No one could go against it. It was as if there was a group of ancient gods inside the door. A group of old antiques knelt outside the door, trembling in fear as if they were walking on thin ice. All of them kept quiet out of fear. Although they were separated by a metal door, these old antiques were still suppressed by the terrifying aura inside the door. They held their breath and did not dare to breathe too loudly. My lords, this is the strongest young man in this year's selection competition, Xiao Han. This is an anomaly. He actually used demonic magic wantonly and fought with many evil heroes. Moreover, I heard that his demonic power is not inferior to that of an advanced demon emperor. This is the first time in the history of our human clan. This is rarely seen in the history of the human clan. My lords, the human clan is the human clan, and the demon clan is the demon clan. It is absolutely impossible for the human clan to master the secret methods and skills of the demon clan so perfectly. Xiao Han's World Annihilation Demon Saber is on par with Demon Emperor Qing Lin. This is extremely unimaginable. I hope that all of you can understand it. This is not because Xiao Han has a grudge against us and we are taking revenge on him. It's related to the rise and fall of the entire human clan. We all suspect that Xiao Han is a spy of the demon clan. One of the old-timers reported in a pained voice. Inside the metal door, there was silence for dozens of breaths. A godlike voice came out. All of you leave. We will deal with this matter. Yes. The group of old antiques left one after another. Inside the metal door, it was an extremely mysterious space. It was almost boundless. In this space, there were continuous divine mountains and illusory palaces. Powerful spirit storms were rolling and sweeping. There were even strands of immortal chi and intertwining immortal talismans. Divine lights that were rarely seen in the history of the world were bursting out everywhere. Wind, cloud, thunder, water of the yellow spring, eternal divine wind, space cracks, all of them appeared. It made people feel that those in this space shouldn't be mortals but immortals. Divine light surged and mist rolled. In this space, there were more than a dozen spirit storms that were as powerful as ancient giant gods. They were squirming and releasing some power of rules and laws. They were just spirit storms but no physical bodies could be seen. Xiao Han, what do you think? A faint voice was heard. This voice alone was enough to shatter the void. If it was a little louder, it would definitely change the wind and clouds and cause a catastrophe. It was almost an invincible voice. Indeed, there was no trace of a physical body. There were only a dozen spirit storms talking wantonly and saying what they wanted. The aura of these spirit storms was just like that of the great ancient gods and immortals, shocking the world and destroying the 9 continents. Moreover, the aura of these spirit storms was high and mighty, and it didn't show any human emotions. At every moment, it revealed the combination of the heavenly Tao, rewarding good and punishing evil, and enforcing justice on behalf of heaven. All kinds of rules were set by one hand and controlled by the other. The development of things has deviated from what we imagined. No, to be serious, there has been a huge deviation, another spirit storm said in a serious tone. We all watched Xiao Han's battle against Garen in the Hex Hero preliminaries. At that time, Xiao Han's demonic power could only be said to be ordinary, about the same as that of a low-level demon emperor. But now, Xiao Han killed the Green Dragon Demon Emperor. The Green Dragon Demon Emperor was a high-level demon emperor, and he had a mutated bloodline. How could he be killed by Xiao Han? Another spirit storm joined in. According to the information we have, Xiao Han defeated a senior Hex hero in the Great Wilderness with one move. The demonic power he displayed was already that of a high-level demon emperor. In other words, this young man improved from a low-level demon emperor to a high-level demon emperor in just a few months. As soon as he said that, the dozens of spirit storms in the entire space fell silent at the same time. After a few hundred breaths, his progress is too fast. From a low-level demon emperor to a high-level demon emperor, it only took a few months. Such a monstrous growth rate was rarely seen in the demon clan. Even those creatures with the bloodline of the demon clan emperor can't grow so fast. Could it be that Xiao Han will mutate his bloodline and control the demonic power of a mutated demon emperor? Then he will go through a second mutation, an ultimate mutation, and finally possess the destructive demonic power of the demon clan emperor? If that's the case, it looks like we're nurturing a tiger that will invite disaster. Our judgment may be a little off. I didn't expect Xiao Han to be able to control such a huge amount of demonic power in such a short time. Now, it seems that we have to kill him in the cradle. We can't let him continue to grow. Yes, the world is ever-changing. Throughout history, there have been many catastrophes that eventually led to disasters because of small things that didn't attract enough attention. The collapse of an ant's nest. Even a small ant's nest can cause the collapse of a dam. Well, I support killing Xiao Han now. That's what I mean too. Xiao Han has returned to the Devil Hero domain and is heading to the Devil Hero Tower. He's probably going to get some contribution points after killing the Green Dragon Demon Emperor. Let's order a few of the top 1,000 powerhouses on the Demon Warrior leaderboard to take action. Okay, I'll pass on the order now. It was better to nip the trouble in the bud than to nip it in the bud, so that there won't be any big mistakes in the future. Among the dozens of spirit storms, 6 of them unanimously decided to kill Xiao Han. Wait. Another spirit storm kept expanding and wriggling, and the immortal talisman kept flickering as if it could explode at any time. What nonsense. Xiao Han is only about 20 years old, but he can already kill an advanced demon emperor alone. Moreover, in the Hex Hero preliminaries he was brave and resourceful. This kind of genius is hard to come by in tens of millions of years. But now, instead of attaching importance to him, you want to kill him? What kind of logic is that? Bullsh*T logic. If you do this, the human race will go extinct sooner or later. We'll be killed by the demons sooner or later. Yes, tell me, in the entire history of the human race, has there ever been a 20-year-old teenager who killed an advanced demon emperor alone? Definitely not. It's not easy for the human race to have an unprecedented genius, but he was killed just like that. You guys can bear to do it, but I can't. So what if Xiao Han used demonic techniques? All the paths lead to the same destination. As long as Xiao Han is loyal to the human race and takes killing demons as his responsibility, there won't be a problem. We shouldn't kill him. In my opinion, we should focus on training him instead. This will allow him to improve even further. Yes, Xiao Han might have had an internal conflict with many demon warriors and injured some of them, but he killed the Green Dragon Demon Emperor, which is enough to make up for his mistakes. I don't think there's a problem. To put it bluntly, Xiao Han didn't do anything out of line, but he was executed for no reason. It's infuriating. In this way, the Demon Warrior Pagoda will lose cohesion and the people will be divided sooner or later. Among the dozen or so mental storms, 6 of them opposed Xiao Han's execution. At this moment, there was a dispute among the supreme mighty figures about how to deal with Xiao Han. They had different opinions. All of a sudden, the atmosphere became tense. Boom. Runes intertwined, thunder roared, lightning flashed, the sun and the moon rose and fell, and a huge mental storm let out an angry roar. Ridiculous. Do you expect Xiao Han to become the future leader of the human race? That's a joke. How stupid. According to the intelligence, Xiao Han's demonic power was boundless, but his true qi cultivation was trash. Now, explain to me why a human's true qi cultivation is a mess, but his demonic power and demonic techniques have improved by leaps and bounds. Why is that? There must be a reason behind this abnormality. In my opinion, Xiao Han is a spy for the demon race. He must be executed. His soul must be destroyed. He'll be doomed eternally. *T. Divine light surged, the mountains and seas roared, and the entire space trembled. It was also an extremely powerful mental storm. If Xiao Han is a demon spy, why would he kill the Green Dragon Demon Emperor? Injuring oneself to gain the confidence of the demon race. This is the demon race's trick of injuring oneself to gain the confidence of the demon race. Sacrificing a high-level demon emperor will allow Xiao Han to gain our trust. How ambitious. Xiao Han must be executed. There's no other possibility. Xiao Han must die. Forget it, let's send an ancient giant to kill Xiao Han with a flick of our fingers. Who dares to kill Xiao Han? An ancient giant? I'll say this first, if any ancient giant dares to make a move, I'll kill his entire family. Xiao Han can't be killed. Kill? We must not kill him. The group of top figures of the human race actually had an internal conflict and quarreled with each other. Chapter 256. In this vast and mysterious space, more than a dozen extremely powerful spiritual storms. At the highest floor of the Wuxia Tower, there was a serious difference in their opinions. They even broke out into a fierce quarrel that was rarely seen. In the entire space, more than a dozen golden suns burst out. The blazing light burst out and rumbled, shocking the universe. There were 6 mental storms that agreed to destroy Xiao Han. There were exactly 6 mental storms that wanted to protect Xiao Han, no more, no less. They argued endlessly. There was even a feeling that a big fight was about to break out. At this moment, enough, all of you shut up. In this space there were a total of 13 mental storms, which seemed to represent 13 ancient gods. Among them, 12 mental storms formed 2 camps, opposing each other on how to deal with Xiao Han. However, the 13th mental storm kept silent. Only when the 2 sides were arguing endlessly did the 13th mental storm make a sound. The 13th mental storm had the most terrifying aura. It expanded like the core of a planet, and violent airflow surrounded this mental storm. Every airflow was faster than the speed of light, and every airflow burst out with a long roar, shocking the heavens and earth, like a dragon or a crane. This mental storm that was like the core of a planet seemed to have established a mysterious connection with the universe. Dense brilliance radiated from this mental storm. Rays of great power that could collapse the sky and destroy the ages were wriggling. Countless holy lights and all kinds of runes intertwined like rainbows. This caused this mental storm to have an aura that dominated the universe, and it even gave people a feeling of immortality. Finally, there was a burst of sound in this mental storm, and it made the other voices in the mental storm all shut up. A supreme and irresistible majesty suddenly bloomed. This caused the 2 sides that were arguing to shut up. Not only that, but after feeling the wrath of the 13th group, the other 12 groups started to feel uneasy and fearful. Pagoda Master, please calm down, the Supreme Psychic Storm said harshly. Don't argue anymore. How can there be an internal conflict because of such a small matter? What a disgrace. You have cultivated for so many years and you still can't hold it in? Facing the scolding of this mental storm, no one dared to refute or talk back. Regarding the matter of the youth Xiao Han, I already have a plan. It was impossible to kill Xiao Han directly. Yes, Xiao Han had indeed made rapid progress. From the demonic power of a low-level demon emperor to that of a high-level demon emperor, it had only taken him a few months. This was truly heaven-defying. If there were no accidents, many years later, Xiao Han would definitely look down on the world and become a supreme being. If we were to strangle this kind of world-shaking talent just because of a small sign, it would indeed be a reckless waste of God's gifts. Some of you are worried that Xiao Han is a spy for the demon race. If we allow him to grow, he will eventually harm the human race. This kind of worry is not without reason. However, everything is still firmly under our control. Xiao Han is a flame of hope, burning brighter and brighter, but we can extinguish this flame at any time. Don't make a mountain out of a molehill. Even if Xiao Han possesses the demonic power of a great demon emperor, it would only take a single thought for us to eliminate him. Of course, when Xiaohan returns to the Yaoxia Pagoda this time, I'll personally release a spiritual wave to pry into the secrets of the demon clan hidden in him. If he's indeed a spy of the demon clan, I'll personally take action and clean him up. However, if he's not, then there's another story. Yes, the pagoda master personally observed Xiaohan and could see all his secrets at a glance. Whether he's a spy of the demon clan or not, he can't hide it from the pagoda master. Xiaohan entered the Yaoxia domain from the celestial dragon town. He controlled his true qi and flew straight to the Yaoxia pagoda. At the same time, Xiaohan had already taken out the Yaoxia token and used the communication function to send a message to Wu Yu Dongfang Qin and Fang Ling sect master. Senior brother Dongfang, senior brother Fang Ling, I'm about to enter the Yaoxia pagoda. I've completed the mission of killing the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor. In a very short period of time, Wu Yu replied to Xiaohan. Okay Xiaohan, we already know about this matter. We're on our way to the Yaoxia domain. We'll arrive soon. Xiaohan, you're very good. You've made the sect proud. I'm very happy. Wu Yu's tone was a little shaky. Okay sect master, I'll go to the 5th floor of the Yaoxia pagoda first to collect the contribution points reward for killing the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor. Xiaohan sent a message. Not long after, Xiaohan finally flew to the Yaoxia pagoda, which was known to be indestructible. It was lofty, enormous, ancient, elegant, magnificent, and stretched on for a few thousand kilometers. It emanated a scholarly aura, and it carried the aura of civilization and enlightenment. It caused the heavens and the earth to be filled with strands of righteousness, and it simply aroused respect in the hearts of all. Xiaohan landed in a square in front of the 1st floor of the Yaoxia pagoda. There were many Yaoxia standing in groups of 3 to 5 in the square, communicating with each other. Some of them were walking out of the Yaoxia pagoda in a hurry, as if they were in a hurry to do something. The Yaoxia that appeared near the Yaoxia pagoda all had an extraordinary aura. Their bodies were full of true qi, and they were surrounded by divine light and precious clouds, making it difficult for people to see through them. However, they were definitely powerful figures who were famous in the mountains and rivers. At this moment, when the Yaoxia saw Xiaohan, their eyes were burning with curiosity. Some even blurted out, Xiaohan. The young man who killed the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor, Xiaohan, who has been in the limelight recently. That's right, it's this kid. Good lad. It seemed that he had rushed back from the great wilderness to collect the reward for the mission of killing the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor. How many contribution points was it? A total of 10,000 contribution points. Moreover, the value of the Azure Dragon Demonic Emperor Crystal and the Azure Dragon Demonic Emperor Corpse was far more than that. The Xiaohan has struck it rich. He has become a nouveau riche. I'm not some local tycoon. It's just a few million contribution points. I'll be able to enter some special secret cultivation room. There was nothing left. Or you can buy a few Jinchi secret manuals, but there won't be much left. Don't brag. This Xiaohan has just become a devil hero. He doesn't even have a ranking, but he has already earned millions of contribution points. It's already very heaven-defying. You can't say that. You'll definitely have to risk your life to kill the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor. It's only natural for him to obtain millions of contribution points. Don't be jealous and jealous. Xiaohan did not want to become the focus of discussion, so he quickly lowered his head and rushed into the Yaoxia pagoda. Then, at the teleportation area on the 1st floor, he spent 50 contribution points and teleported to the 5th floor of the Yaoxia tower. The floor where he received the mission to kill the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor. On the 5th floor of the Yaoxia pagoda. Mission release area. Treasure clouds and crimson light were surging. There were notices floating in the void like fireflies. Some of the devil heroes were scanning the notice with their mental energy in this area, looking for missions that were suitable for them. The manager of this floor was a middle-aged man in linen clothes. His aura was as strong as the sea, and his body was surging with golden light. There were suns and moons floating in his eyes, and he looked dignified. At this moment, he was pacing back and forth restlessly, mumbling to himself. Why isn't this kid coming to claim his reward yet? He seemed to be waiting for someone. At this moment, a ray of treasure light bloomed on this floor. There were ripples in the air, and a humanoid silhouette immediately wriggled. Someone had teleported to this floor. The middle-aged man in linen clothes stopped in his tracks and looked at the humanoid silhouette with an expectant expression. Many of the devil heroes who were browsing the missions on this floor also looked over immediately. They had lost count of the number of times they had repeated the same expression and action today. Finally, the humanoid silhouette solidified. It was Xiaohan. Ah, Xiaohan. The middle-aged man in linen clothes immediately shouted and walked towards Xiaohan excitedly. Good. Good. You're finally here. I've been waiting for you for a long time. Ah. You've been waiting for me for a long time? Xiaohan was stunned. He is indeed a promising young man. He can be said to be handsome and spirited. Not bad at all. I didn't expect that you would be able to complete the mission of killing the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor that so many experienced devil heroes couldn't complete. The middle-aged man in linen clothes' eyes were full of admiration. Even Li Fanming, who has been in the limelight in recent years, failed. Xiaohan, if there were more talented young people like you in the human race, sooner or later, the demon race would be completely driven out of this continent. All the devil heroes on this floor stared at Xiaohan deeply, which made him feel even more pressured. Well, actually, it was just a fluke, Xiaohan stammered. The middle-aged man in linen clothes looked at Xiaohan meaningfully and said in a low voice, I heard that Lei Qiji was defeated by you in one move. That's not a fluke. Xiaohan, you're hiding your strength, don't be too humble. Alright, collect your contribution points. Give me your devil hero token and follow me. Okay, Xiaohan was only concerned about the 10,000 contribution points. At this moment, he was refreshed and quickly handed the devil hero token to the middle-aged man in linen clothes. The middle-aged man in linen clothes took the devil hero token from Xiaohan's hand, turned around and walked towards a shining house on this floor. The Azure Dragon Demon Emperor Crystal and the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor Corpse can also be exchanged for contribution points. They can be exchanged for 4 million contribution points. Well, Xiaohan was stunned. Then he mumbled. Senior, the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor Crystal and the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor Corpse. Oh right, the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor Crystal has been shattered. It's not complete. I didn't bring it back, so I threw it away. You shattered the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor Crystal? Hearing this, the middle-aged man in linen clothes was shocked. He turned around and looked at Xiaohan in shock. Xiaohan had a headache. The Azure Dragon Demon Emperor Crystal and the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor Corpse had been refined by Xiaohan, so he couldn't take them out. He was just about to think of an excuse to pass the buck. At this moment, boom! In the unseen world, a great spiritual wave suddenly swept down. It was just a wisp of spiritual wave, but it turned into a turbulent spiritual storm. It tore the empty space apart and enveloped Xiaohan. In an instant, Xiaohan felt that the world was spinning. Everything around him became dark. It was as if Xiaohan was the only person left in the world. Moreover, it was freezing cold. Snow was falling everywhere, making Xiaohan feel as if he had fallen into an ice cellar. It was freezing cold. Of course, Xiaohan understood that he was not sent to a dark and uninhabited world. There was no snow around him. Everything was a hallucination on the spiritual level. Xiaohan's spirit and soul could be said to be indomitable and impregnable. However, at this moment, they were easily affected and destroyed by a wisp of spiritual wave. It's too scary. Who is this? Right now, Xiaohan's whole body was trembling with fear. He didn't know about other things, but he knew very well that the person who triggered this psychic wave must be a big shot who could pluck the stars and grab the moon. Their true chi was boundless and invincible. If such a person wanted to kill him, it would definitely be a piece of cake. This aura is even more terrifying than that of the sect leader. Xiaohan was shocked. At the same time, this wisp of spiritual wave also made Xiaohan feel that if he was not careful, his body, will, soul, blood essence and true chi would be ignited all at once. Then he would be burned into ashes and would no longer exist in this world. This was a spiritual wave that could not be desecrated or resisted by others. The next moment, there seemed to be a pair of invisible eyes observing Xiaohan. Xiaohan felt as if every inch of his body was being seen through. His flesh, bones, skin, hair, blood, cells, true chi, even his soul, everything was seen through. He couldn't even hide it. Xiaohan's heart beat faster. This situation was a bit like doing something wrong and being caught in the act. Suddenly, this pair of eyes, this spiritual wave, penetrated into the demon god's palm tattoo on Xiaohan's left arm. This spiritual wave directly penetrated into the demon god's palm tattoo and began to sweep through every demon vein. 9 demon veins were swept through one by one. The 4 demon emperor crystals had nowhere to hide. Beads of sweat began to appear on Xiaohan's forehead, but he couldn't resist. The difference between the two of them was really too big. This made Xiaohan a little suspicious that this wisp of spiritual wave was made by the legendary immortals. Otherwise, Xiao Han believed that he wouldn't be suppressed to this extent. Now, not to mention resisting, he couldn't even move his body or think a little bit. The spiritual wave of the strongest and supreme martial artist stayed on Xiao Han's left arm for more than 100 breaths of time. Then, it suddenly penetrated into Xiao Han's heart. Oh no! Xiao Han was horrified. Xiao Han's biggest secret was hidden in his heart. That demon egg. And the densely packed seals on the surface of the demon egg. On every seal there seemed to be some martial arts secrets recorded. However, this spiritual wave seemed to have discovered that Xiao Han's heart was extraordinary. It was like a troop of iron and blood, marching straight into Xiao Han's heart. Xiao Han's heart was filled with fear. Xiao Han knew that the demon egg in his heart could fool most powerful people, but it definitely couldn't fool the owner of this spiritual wave. The only defense on the surface of Xiao Han's heart was the spirit turtle's true qi that shielded demon qi. However, in front of this spiritual wave, the spirit turtle's true qi was nothing. The spiritual wave penetrated the spirit turtle's true qi effortlessly. It was like entering an unstoppable state. That wisp of spiritual wave suddenly became extremely powerful. After penetrating the spirit turtle's true qi, it completely enveloped Xiao Han's heart. It was about to penetrate Xiao Han's heart. That demon egg was embedded in Xiao Han's heart. However, just as that wisp of spiritual wave was about to pierce through Xiao Han's heart, a turbulent wave of demon qi suddenly surged out from the cracks of the demon egg. In that instant the sky changed color. Rays of glass-like demon qi rolled out from Xiao Han's heart. A vast demon might surged into the sky, suddenly erupting with a peerless majesty, as if a god had suddenly awakened. With a single thought, boundless God's punishment descended. Everywhere in the void was trembling. That wisp of spiritual wave, under the assault of this terrifying demon qi, was actually forced to retreat, showing signs of collapse and destruction. The overwhelming demon qi was almost invincible, crushing that wisp of spiritual wave until it was finally destroyed. In other words, when that wisp of spiritual wave was about to enter Xiao Han's heart to see what was going on, the demon egg in Xiao Han's heart released a godly demon qi from the cracks of the eggshell, destroying that wisp of spiritual wave, causing it to be unable to see what was going on inside the heart. For example, the demon egg in the heart was automatically protecting its owner, protecting Xiao Han. Of course, it was also a kind of self-protection. In the end, the wisp of demon qi returned to the cracks of the eggshell, and the densely packed seals on the eggshell trembled a few times. The spirit turtle true qi stuck on the surface of the eggshell hurriedly blocked the cracks. All the abnormalities disappeared from Xiao Han's body. Xiao Han was scared out of his wits. He wiped the sweat on his forehead, and his heart was filled with fear. It's over. The secret in the heart, I'm afraid that it's been exposed. Although that wisp of spiritual wave didn't manage to enter the heart and detect the demon egg in the seals, but the counterattack of the demon qi is enough to put me in danger. Oh no, what should I do now? Xiao Han, what's wrong? The middle-aged man in linen clothes frowned and asked. No, nothing. Xiao Han stammered. On the top floor of the Demon Hero Tower, there were 13 groups of invincible spiritual storms. Tower Master, how is it? Among them, 12 groups of spiritual storms revolved around the most blazing, magnificent and powerful spiritual storm. Tower Master, you've already personally observed Xiao Han. What did you find? Is he a spy of the demon race? The most prosperous spiritual storm in the middle kept wriggling, but it didn't send any message or sound. All of a sudden, silence occupied everything. After a few hundred breaths, what exactly is going on? Tower Master, could it be that you found something? Things have already exceeded our imagination. Finally, the powerful spiritual storm made a sound. It was extremely serious. However, if one listened carefully, one would find that in this supreme invincible voice, there was actually a heart palpitation that was rarely seen in the history. I've discovered something. The powerful spiritual storm seemed to be organizing his words. After a long while he finally said, a few scary things, terrifying. This word caused the other 12 spiritual storms to wriggle and expand rapidly, and they all sent out waves of shock and confusion. Chapter 257. It was the master of the Monster Hero Pagoda who had scanned Xiao Han's vitality and secrets with his spirit wave. He was the supreme figure who had created the Monster Hero Pagoda. He was invincible. He was the most mysterious and powerful figure of the human race in the world. It was said that he had become an immortal long ago. On the highest floor of the Monster Hero Pagoda, the giant spirit storm that represented the master of the pagoda radiated aurora like the core of a star. After observing Xiaohan, he actually used the word, terrifying. Something that could make such a figure, who could cover the sky with one hand and the mountain and sea prison, say, terrifying, that was really terrifying, enough to shock the world. Pagoda. Pagoda Master, just what is going on? Please explain. The other 12 spirit storms were all panicking. Silence. A suffocating silence. After 100 breaths, I have observed young Xiaohan's skin, membrane, bone, marrow, essence, qi, spirit, blood, organs and tendons. All of them are human. Can be said that Xiaohan is a pure human. In his blood, there is no filth and corruption of the demon race, the master said very seriously. It is a very basic common sense. The blood of our human race is absolutely different from the blood of the demon race. No matter how well a demon disguises himself, it is impossible to change his blood to human blood. Moreover, young Xiaohan is full of vigor and has a kind of righteousness that prevents all evils from invading. Hearing this, the spirit storms that were determined to kill Xiaohan were embarrassed. On the contrary, the spirit storms that wanted to protect Xiaohan were relieved. At this time, the master changed the topic. However, young Xiaohan has the secret of the demon race. I don't know what method he used, but in his left arm he even refined the hand of a demon emperor, awakened 9 demon veins, and inlaid 4 demon emperor crystals of different sizes. Hiss. Awaken 9 demon veins? This lad really had the demonic power of a high-level demon emperor. Furthermore, in the demon realm, a demon emperor whose bloodline had not mutated could only produce 1 demon emperor crystal. However, Xiaohan had 4. In other words, he could release the demon emperor's secret skill. This kind of combat power is the top among the high-level demon emperors. To be honest, Xiaohan is a high-level demon emperor now. Of course, the Tower Lord said that he is still a human in his bones and he is full of righteousness. This is really contradictory. He is indeed a human, but his true qi cultivation is not good, but his demonic power and demonic magic are outstanding. He is a rare weirdo. Suddenly, the pagoda master's voice became extremely stern. However, the greatest secret of young Xiaohan is not the demon race great emperor's palm that his left arm has refined, but his heart. In Xiaohan's heart, there is a kind of demonic origin energy. This energy overflowed the heavens and the earth. Demons were kings and nothing in this world could match them. It could be said to be heaven-defying. Even I can't see through the depth of this energy. This energy lay dormant deep within Xiaohan's heart. When my mental fluctuations were about to seep into Xiaohan's heart, that energy launched a brazen counterattack. It burst out from Xiaohan's heart, vast and demonic, boundless, raging like the wind and scudding clouds, shining through the ages. Even this Lord's wisp of spirit fluctuation was destroyed by this demon race's source energy. Hiss. The sound of people sucking in a breath of cold air could be heard from the 12 mental storms. Pagoda. Pagoda Master. What kind of power is hidden in Xiaohan's heart? It can actually smash the Pagoda Master's mental fluctuations. There should not be such a horrible power in the mortal world. I can't see through it. This energy is fused with Xiaohan's heart. It protects Xiaohan's heart, making my mental fluctuations and thoughts unable to smoothly enter Xiaohan's heart. After the conversation, the scene fell into silence again. After a few hundred breaths, a spiritual storm said tentatively, Pagoda Master, you said that the demonic origin energy hidden in Xiaohan's heart belongs to the demonic race? Yes. The Pagoda Master muttered. He seemed to be thinking about something. Pagoda Master, if I may be so bold as to guess, could it be that there is a powerful expert of the demonic race who has reached some kind of agreement with Xiaohan? Could it be that a ball of demonic origin energy, which is above all living beings, was fused into Xiaohan's heart, allowing Xiaohan to effortlessly grasp all kinds of demonic techniques, awaken the demonic veins, cultivate demonic aura, and obtain demonic power? In other words, Xiaohan has already become a puppet of the demonic race? Just now, I have said that Xiaohan is full of righteousness. His essence, qi, and spirit are all very righteous. From top to bottom, there is not a trace of darkness or filth. This kind of person is unlikely to make a deal with the demonic race, and he should not be a spy of the demonic race. He has no ulterior motives. He is open and aboveboard. There is even a trace of a clear conscience. The Pagoda Master said slowly. In that case, Xiaohan is not a spy of the demonic race. It is possible that he unintentionally obtained a ball of demonic origin energy. However, Pagoda Master, the ball of demonic origin energy hidden in Xiaohan's heart can even destroy your spirit wave and will. That is simply too heaven-defying. This person, Xiaohan, is like a ticking time bomb at all times. Once the ball of demonic origin energy in his heart has its own consciousness and wakes up, there is a possibility that it will possess Xiaohan's body and use Xiaohan's body as its home. At that time, a great demon will appear out of nowhere. Between heaven and earth, there will be a storm of blood, the yin and yang will be reversed, and even the heavenly Tao will be thrown into disorder. Pagoda Master, the consequences will be unimaginable. Pagoda Master, let me think about it. It is possible that even Xiaohan himself does not know about the evil and terrifying consequences of the ball of demonic origin energy in his heart. That ball of demonic origin energy is too powerful. If it wants to possess someone, it must choose a body that is equally powerful. Only then will it be able to complement each other. Right now, Xiaohan is still too weak and has a long way to go. If it were to possess someone at this time, Xiaohan's body will definitely explode. In that case, can you understand that the ball of demonic origin energy is waiting? Waiting. All the mental storms were aghast. Their thoughts raced as they continued to ponder and deduce. In other words, that ball of demonic origin energy has chosen Xiaohan and will help Xiaohan to become stronger. When Xiaohan is strong enough, he will meet the requirements of the ball of demonic origin energy to possess him. Then, something terrible was about to happen. The demonic origin energy will completely occupy Xiaohan's body and soul, causing Xiaohan to die and leaving behind a body controlled by a great demon, to bring disaster to the world. Your analysis is very reasonable. It is the same as what I have thought. The Pagoda Master said seriously. Pagoda Master, what do you think about this? Force the ball of demonic origin energy out of Xiaohan's heart. This way we can not only eliminate the root of the disaster, but also save Xiaohan. After all, if this goes on, the stronger Xiaohan becomes, the more dangerous it will be for him. The more he will be possessed. No. The Pagoda Master said decisively. That demon clan's origin energy has already merged with Xiaohan's heart and is inseparable. It is inseparable and has become a part of Xiaohan's heart. Even if I do it myself and try my best, I won't be able to drive that ball of demonic origin energy out of Xiaohan's heart. One mistake and Xiaohan's heart will be broken and he will die. In other words, that ball of mysterious and evil demonic origin energy was somehow refined by Xiaohan? You can say that. Silence. Silence again. After a long time, Pagoda Master, make a decision now. He might as well destroy everything indiscriminately, directly killing Xiaohan. Xiaohan was blasted into pieces, his soul dispersed, and the demonic clan's origin energy in his heart also vanished. Once and for all. Of course, this was very unfair to Xiaohan. But it was better than sitting and waiting for death. If they waited for the great demon to take over the body, it would be a tragic scene where the people would be plunged into misery and suffering. Even if they could kill the great demon, they would have to pay a terrible price. Who knew how many heroes and commoners would die in battle? Pagoda Master, don't be soft-hearted. How about this, after we execute Xiaohan, we will erect a monument for him so that everyone will know that he died for a righteous cause. Sacrifice for a noble cause. We can also write down Xiaohan's deeds and let them be passed down from generation to generation. We can build a cenotaph and a holy temple for him so that mortals can worship him. How about that? We can even bury Xiaohan's body in the Devil Hero region so that many demons will worship him devoutly. In short, we'll make a grand arrangement for Xiaohan's funeral. Even we, the old antiques who don't come out into the world, can come out and write funeral rites for Xiaohan. From now on, we will spare no effort to cultivate Xiaohan's sect. In this way, Xiaohan's death will be worth it. His death will be worth it. Yes. Xiaohan died for the safety of the entire human race. More important than a mountain. 4 of the 6 groups of spiritual storms that originally wanted to protect Xiaohan changed sides and agreed to execute Xiaohan. After all, the demonic origin energy in Xiaohan's heart was unbelievably powerful. It could wipe out the Pagoda Master's spiritual waves and will. This was unbelievable. It was better to nip the problem in the bud. They had to get rid of Xiaohan together. Sigh, that's so high-sounding. Xiaohan is innocent. Now that Xiaohan is cultivating the true body double cultivation, his lifespan has increased greatly. He might even have a chance to become an immortal in the future and seek immortality. He was young, high-spirited, and happy to repay kindness and enmity. His time was endless and he could enjoy the wonders of life without end. How could he be willing to die for no reason? He would definitely be unwilling. Also, can we really have a clear conscience if we execute Xiaohan like this? There are no airtight walls. This matter will be leaked sooner or later. It's better to guard against people's mouths than to guard against a river. When that time comes, what can we use to block the mouths of the world? A spiritual storm said righteously. Pagoda Master, please think twice. Those who want to achieve great things don't care about trifles. You want to protect Xiaohan? You can't. If you want to blame someone, blame him for refining the mysterious demonic origin energy. To put it bluntly, Xiaohan wanted to rise to the top in one step, so he chose to take a shortcut. He gave up on cultivating true qi and went on to cultivate demonic arts in order to increase his combat power in a short period of time. In fact, he doesn't even know that he has already gone astray. What do you mean by going astray? Xiaohan killed Qing Lin Demon Emperor and Azure Dragon Demon Emperor. Is that what you call going astray? No matter what, he had made a great contribution to the war. I can't just let him die in such a muddle-headed manner. Enough. Shut up. The Pagoda Master roared. Up until now, do you still not understand the situation? It's not a matter of whether we kill Xiaohan or not. The key is that if we kill Xiaohan directly, the demonic origin energy in his heart will definitely go berserk and cause a backlash. Even I don't have enough confidence to firmly suppress the demon clan's origin energy that hibernates in Xiaohan's heart. Once Xiaohan's body explodes, that massive origin energy will counterattack. Even I can't predict what will happen. It might bring about a catastrophe. Xiaohan can't be killed so easily. Moreover, Xiaohan is a human, not a demon. It's indeed unreasonable to kill him. Shut up and let me think about it. 100 breaths later. How about this, all of you keep your mouths shut. Don't say a word about this and don't look for Xiaohan alone. Now, Xiaohan has just become a devil hero and hasn't obtained a place on the devil hero ranking. So, first let him participate in a ranking competition, let him compete for a position, and then, let him complete that task. Huh. That mission, could it be? Yes, let Xiaohan go to the demon metropolis and assassinate the greatest traitor in the history of the human race, Alchemist Yen. The Pagoda Master's tone became confident as if he had regained control of everything. The demon metropolis is the nest of the demons and the origin of the demon civilization. It's impossible for us to sneak in. Therefore, the mission to assassinate the traitor Yen is known as the most difficult mission in the history of the human race. Even the giants on the devil hero ranking can't complete it. Because the giants can't enter the demon metropolis safely. But Xiaohan is different. The demonic origin energy in his heart can make him disguise as a demon. It's possible to not be discovered. This makes Xiaohan the best candidate to complete this mission. The Pagoda Master paused. He sighed leisurely. Furthermore, if Xiaohan's identity is exposed by the demon clan in the demon metropolis and a great battle breaks out, once Xiaohan dies, the demon clan's origin energy hibernating in his heart will explode, causing an unimaginable disaster to the demon clan, severely injuring the demon race. So, it's the same death. Xiaohan's death in the nest of the demon race and his death in the devil hero region are completely different. If he dies in the demon metropolis, it won't affect us at all. Maybe it will cause great damage to the vitality of the demon race. At that time, we can take the opportunity to attack the demon metropolis and completely destroy the demon race in this world. The Pagoda Master is really wise. This is a plan to kill two birds with one stone. Remember, before that, don't make things difficult for Xiaohan. And don't reveal anything in front of him. Even those giants on the devil hero ranking must be kept a secret. Don't let them know Xiaohan's secret. Now, go and arrange a ranking competition. Let Xiaohan get a ranking first. In this way, he will have the foundation to complete this mission and won't be suspected by other devil heroes. Yes. Chapter 258. The fifth floor of the Wuxia Tower. Now Xiaohan felt like he was sitting on pins and needles. His forehead was covered with cold sweat. Although that extremely powerful spirit wave didn't manage to penetrate Xiaohan's heart and discover the demonic egg in his heart, the demonic aura that shot out from the gaps of the eggshell had crushed the spirit wave. It must have shocked the owner of the spirit wave. To be honest, Xiaohan's biggest secret had been revealed. What should I do now? It must be the higher-ups of the Wuxia Tower who are watching me. They found some clues and will definitely deal with me next. I'm still young and can't compete with those giants. The situation can't be any worse for me. Could it be that I have to pack up and run away now? I'm not willing to leave like this. Besides, I'm afraid there's no place for me in this big world. It's not impossible for me to be chased by all the Yaoxia in the world. Xiaohan was suffering. However, the middle-aged man didn't notice Xiaohan's abnormality and urged him. Xiaohan, what are you thinking? All right, get your contribution points. 10,000 contribution points is not a small number for a newcomer like you who just became a Yaoxia. Hearing this, Xiaohan steeled his heart. Damn it, who cares? I'll get the benefits I deserve first. Since I'm already here, I'll just take things as they come. The spiritual wave just now seemed to be from an immortal. I can't run away if I want to. Even if I run to the ends of the earth, I can't escape death. It's better to take things one step at a time. I'll deal with it when it comes. Xiaohan was ready to risk it all. He immediately said, Okay, senior, I'll go with you to get my contribution points now. The middle-aged man in hemp garments smiled with gratification, and then he brought Xiaohan into a small room that was sparkling and translucent. Inside the room, there was a round stone full of immortal qi. Lines of data were rolling on the round stone, which was a spectacular sight. There were many markings on the round stone, dazzling Xiaohan's eyes. The middle-aged man held Xiaohan's Yaoxia token and brushed it on a scale on the round stone. There was a sizzling sound. A string of data flowed into Xiaohan's Yanxiaoxia token. It's done. 1 million contribution points have already rolled into your evil hero token, Xiaohan. You can use your psyche to scan it now. There shouldn't be any mistakes, the middle-aged man in linen said with a smile as he returned the Xeno hero token to Xiaohan. Xiaohan, you can use these contribution points on any floor of the Yaoxia Tower. Oh. Xiaohan's mind wavered. He took over the Yin Chivalrous token and permeated his consciousness into it. Indeed, within the Yin Chivalrous token, it clearly showed that Xiaohan's contribution points had already exceeded 10,000. Phew. Senior, there's no problem. 1 million contribution points have already been displayed in Junior's Yanxiao token. Xiaohan said gratefully. Thank you, Senior. Xiaohan, you don't have to thank me. You deserve this. Young man, why don't you take on a few more missions to kill demonic monarchs and earn more contribution points? The middle-aged man said to Xiaohan in a half-joking, half-serious manner. You can even kill Azure Dragon Demonic Monarch. Ordinary high-level demonic monarchs are no match for you. TSK, you can hunt high-level demonic monarchs at the age of 20. You will definitely be famous in the future and shine brightly on the evil hero ranking list. By the way, you don't have a ranking on the evil hero ranking list yet, do you? You can try to apply for a ranking challenge. Generally speaking, a new evil hero must have 2 years of experience and pay 50,000 contribution points to be qualified to participate in the ranking challenge. However, you are really outstanding and powerful. Among the younger generation of evil heroes, no one can be compared to you. The higher-ups will probably make an exception for you and let you participate in the ranking challenge. Ranking challenge? Xiaohan was stunned. Yes, seriously speaking, an evil hero with a ranking is an evil hero that is truly recognized. The higher your ranking, the more privileges you have. When you go outside, you will not only be worshipped by everyone, but you will also be respected on the evil hero ranking list. No one will dare to look down on you anymore. Xiaohan, you don't have a ranking right now, so you can't avoid the harassment and provocation of some evil heroes. However, once you have a higher ranking, they won't even have time to hide from you. They won't come and cause trouble for you. The hemp-clothed middle-aged man said seriously. This. Xiaohan thought for a while and silently nodded in his heart. That's right, if I get a decent ranking on the demon hero ranking board, then Li Fanming, Yu Ming and the other filthy demon heroes, I'm afraid they wouldn't even think about selling me out to the heavens. Lei Qizhi, Jin Shanxiong and Huang Taiyuan wouldn't casually stick to me. As the saying goes, a man needs a face and a tree needs a skin. The ranking on the evil hero ranking list is equivalent to the face of an evil hero. Thank you for reminding me, Senior. I've learned a lot, Xiaohan said sincerely. However, I want to be teleported to the 301-500th floor of the evil hero tower now. Oh? You want to rent a secret cultivation room? The middle-aged man smiled. Yes. Xiaohan nodded. The middle-aged man looked at Xiaohan solemnly. Yes, even though you've killed the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor, such a powerful figure of the demon race, you're still neither arrogant nor rash, and you're still cultivating diligently. Good, you're indeed an outstanding genius. Xiaohan, I'm sure you don't know much about the secret cultivation room. Let me tell you a little about it. Thank you, Senior. I'd like to hear more about it. Xiao Han nodded. The entire 200 floors of the 30,500th floor are all secret cultivation rooms. There are tens of thousands of secret cultivation rooms. Among them there are many types. For example, if you cultivate an ice elemental true qi cultivation technique, you can choose an ice elemental secret cultivation room to refine your true qi. If you cultivate a fire elemental true qi cultivation technique, you can choose a fire elemental secret cultivation room. In the illusory secret cultivation room, you can roughly simulate the enemy you want according to your requirements. For example, a high-level demon emperor, a human cave expansion realm martial artist, or a human talisman transformation realm martial artist can be simulated according to your requirements and fight with them to improve your combat ability and accumulate some experience. The enemies and battles in the illusory secret training room are extremely realistic, and the degree of simulation is very high. Therefore, renting an illusory secret training room is not cheap. If you want to train your body, you can choose the gravity room. Among all the secret cultivation rooms, the time room and the space room are the best. For example, in the low-level time room, 10 days is equivalent to 1 day in the real world. 1 year in the time room is equivalent to 10 years in the real world, or even 100 years in the real world. Tisk, that's amazing. In other words, if you cultivate for 100 years in the time room, only 1 year might have passed in the real world. That's amazing. Xiao Han clicked his tongue. Although it's magical, it's just a one-time room. The rental fee is hundreds of millions of contribution points. It seems that only the outstanding big shots of the ancient times, or even the big shots of the ancient times, would be able to enter the time room to train. Xiao Han, just tell me what kind of secret cultivation room you need. Oh right, your qi and blood are vigorous and the strength of your body is comparable to the barbarians of the great wilderness. I guess you will choose the secret cultivation room to train your body. How about the gravity room? Xiao Han thought for a while. Senior, to be honest, Junior's qi cultivation has been stagnant for a long time. It seems that Junior has reached a bottleneck. Junior also knows that cultivating qi is a great way to become a deity. Cave expansion realm, talisman transformation realm, Junior yearns for them. Therefore, Junior wants to make up for the deficiency in qi cultivation and choose the secret cultivation room to raise qi cultivation. Raise qi cultivation? The middle-aged man tapped his forehead with his finger. To raise qi cultivation, it's nothing more than to keep bursting your acupoints. And the key to bursting acupoints is 1's accumulation and foundation, 2 is the ability to sense true acupoints, and 3 is mental power. After accumulating enough, 1 would be able to keenly sense the existence of each true acupoint as well as the exact location. Then 1 would be able to temper one's mental power until it is flawless, untainted, impenetrable, and as sharp as a sword. With that, 1 would be able to burst acupoints one after another. To cultivate qi, the first way is to go to the illusion realm secret cultivation room. Through continuous simulations of actual combat, 1 would be able to stimulate one's acupoints in order to burst acupoints. However, the effect isn't very obvious. The second way is to go to the spirit house. The main purpose of the spirit house is to allow 1 to concentrate, hold one's breath, and merge all 3 into 1. One's thoughts would become smooth and sharp, and 1 would be able to sense the location of one's acupoints more clearly. Furthermore, the spirit house can greatly temper one's mental power, which is very effective for bursting acupoints. Furthermore, training in the spirit house is also very beneficial for martial artists who possess sword intent and blade intent. Is that so? Not only can it increase the success rate of bursting acupoints, it can also temper blade intent. Alright. I choose the spirit house. Xiao Han immediately decided. And Xiao Han, go straight to the 429th floor. There are 1,500 spirit houses there. Go take a look and see if there are any vacant ones that you can rent. The middle-aged man in linen clothes laughed heartily. Xiao Han, you go ahead. I won't disturb your cultivation anymore. Thank you for your advice, Senior. Xiao Han nodded and stepped out of the house. As soon as he stepped out of the house, Xiao Han saw Wu Fu, Dongfang Qin, and Fang Ling appearing on this floor. The 3 of them had traveled thousands of miles from the southern region's cloud sect to rush here. Xiao Han felt a surge of warmth in his heart and hurriedly went forward to welcome them. Sect Master, you're here. Senior brother Dongfang, senior brother Fang Ling, you're here too. Good lad. You actually managed to kill the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor. You're really something. Dongfang Qin gave Xiao Han a bear hug. Junior brother Xiao Han, your battle prowess has improved by leaps and bounds. After eldest senior brother, our pure cloud sect has once again seen the emergence of an awe-inspiring demon hero. In the southern region, no one can look down on our cloud sect in the future. Good junior brother. Xiaohan, seriously speaking, you're even braver than senior brother in the past. Fang Ling's words were concise and his eyes were full of praise. Damn. Senior brothers, I don't even have a place on the demon hero leaderboard. Eldest senior brother is a giant throughout the ages. I dare not compare myself to eldest senior brother. I'm far from him. Xiaohan said repeatedly. As Xiaohan, in the future your achievements will surpass Ming Chu. Wu Fu stared at Xiaohan. I never expected you to be able to kill the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor. That's a heaven-defying feat. I'm proud of you. The entire Cloud Sect is proud of you. Sect Master, you're too kind. Xiaohan hurriedly said. At this moment, Xiaohan almost told Wu Fu that he was scanned by the mental wave just now. However, after thinking about it, he held back and did not mention it. Sect Master, I want to go to the Spirit House to cultivate now. Oh? Xiaohan, you want to burst your acupoints to increase your true Qi realm, right? Wu Fu looked at Xiaohan with admiration. Yes, cultivating true Qi is the right way. Let's go, I'll accompany you to take a look. Chapter 259. In the Yaoxia Tower, when Xiaohan met with Wu Yu and the others, he was flustered. His confusion was slightly calmed down. Moreover, that spiritual wave disappeared in an instant. It didn't try to probe or invade Xiaohan. Instead, it disappeared without a trace, leaving no trace behind. This made Xiaohan's tense nerves relax a little. Although he was still anxious, he did not show it on his face. Under the guidance of the middle-aged man, Xiaohan was ready to be teleported to the first floor of the Yaoxia Tower. There were many spirit houses there, which could help Xiaohan break through his acupoints and improve his true Qi cultivation. Xiaohan, let's go. That's right, it's time to pay more attention to your true Qi cultivation. Don't put the cart before the horse. You are cultivating the flesh shell and demonic techniques. It's time to correct it. Wu Yu accompanied Xiaohan and teleported to the 429th floor. This floor seemed to be an independent space. It was hazy and divine light was faintly discernible. Moreover, there were talismans floating in the entire space. It was a pure white talisman seal. It was very holy and had a kind of jade and ice-clear feeling to it. It made people feel like there was snow in the sky. On both sides of the space, there were thousands of secret rooms neatly arranged. Moreover, standing in this space made Xiaohan feel as if he was bathing in the snow. His entire mind was completely empty. His state of mind became very calm and peaceful. His observation and spiritual sense gradually became sharper. The impurities in his soul seemed to have been washed away. This place is really amazing. Xiaohan's heart was slightly moved. Xiaohan, this floor is filled with the spirit room. Look, the talismans all over the place are actually heart-cleansing talismans. Just by standing here for a while, it can calm a person down and prevent them from going crazy. Wu Hu smiled at Xiaohan and explained patiently. Oh. Xiaohan nodded. At this moment, an aurora flashed in the distance. It was very dazzling. Then, in this aurora, a slender figure of a woman appeared. This woman slowly walked towards Xiaohan and Wu Yu. Xiaohan took a closer look and saw that the woman was about 16 years old. She had a beautiful face and an ethereal temperament. She wore a star-shaped hairpin and a plain silk robe. Her entire body exuded a noble and pure aura. This kind of aura caused people to feel a sense of reverence from the bottom of their hearts. Hello, Elaine. Crow greeted the woman with a smile. Big brother Crow. I haven't seen you for many years and you're even more elegant than before. The woman smiled sweetly. Yes, Xiaohan, this is the manager of this floor's House of Psyche, the fiendish hero Elaine. Back in the day, she was also an all-powerful figure who had killed countless demons. On the fiendish hero ranking, she was also one of the strongest. But now he has given up his ranking and retired to the Yaoxia Pagoda, Wu Li said to Xiaohan. Hello, Senior Elaine, Xiaohan said politely. Xiaohan knew that although this woman looked young and in her prime, her actual age was definitely over 100 years old. Oh, Xiaohan? He's the biggest dark horse in this year's fiendish hero trial. Besides, he's been in the limelight recently because he killed the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor. Elaine was also extremely polite to Xiaohan. It's all a fluke. Senior, please excuse me, Xiaohan hurriedly said. Heh, Elaine took a deep look at Xiaohan and then smiled at Crow. Congratulations, big brother Crow, for having a successor. There's a genius in the sect. Crow smiled and did not deny Elaine's words. Elaine did not beat around the bush and directly said to Xiaohan. Xiaohan, you probably came here to cultivate in the House of Psyche, right? Let me tell you simply. There are a total of 3 levels in the House of Psyche on this floor. They are to increase one's spiritual touch by 1 time, 10 times and 5 times respectively. 1 time, 10 times, 100 times. Xiaohan thought for a while and understood. Without a doubt, if one could increase one's spiritual touch by 10 times, the probability of exploding one's acupoints would be greatly increased. Elaine continued. Xiaohan listened carefully. To cultivate in the House of Psyche with 1 time, you need to pay 50,000 contribution points. To cultivate in the House of Psyche with 10 times, you need to pay 500,000 contribution points. To cultivate in the House of Psyche with 1 time, you need to pay 5 million contribution points. Currently, the House of Psyche with 1 time, 10 times, and 100 times are all vacant. It's up to you to choose. Ah? It's so expensive? Xiaohan was shocked when he heard that. The House of Psyche with 300 times can even reach 5 million contribution points for a day's rent. This is unimaginable. Junior brother, it's not considered expensive. Dong Fangqin immediately explained. Sometimes there's a bottleneck in breaking through acupoints and there's no progress for many years. However, once you enter the House of Psyche, there's a 70 to 80% chance of breaking through the bottleneck. Think about it, for one's mental sense of touch to suddenly increase by kc times, it is equivalent to the success rate of breaking through one's acupoints suddenly increasing by several times. I know that there was an ancient powerhouse on the Monster Hero ranking board. Back then, when he was trying to break through from expanding acupoint realm to talisman shaping realm, he was about to burst open his 61st acupoint. He tried for 30 years but to no avail. In the end, he entered the House of Psyche with kc times. After 10 days, he broke through the bottleneck and broke through the 61st acupoint. His chi transformed into a talisman and he reached the heavens in a single step. A few years later, he successfully entered the ranks of ancient powerhouses. So that's how it is. Xiaohan understood and mumbled. Cultivating in the House of Psyche for 10 days would require a total of 10,000 contribution points. That's a huge sum of money. However, contribution points are worldly possessions. Spending 10,000 contribution points to advance from acupoint expanding realm to talisman transforming realm is worth it. As long as one has contribution points on hand, anyone would be willing to use them to advance in their realm. But I only have 1 million contribution points right now, Xiaohan blurted out. Shame on me. I thought that 10,000 contribution points would be enough for me to spend freely. But now, I realize that I don't have enough to make ends meet. It's really shabby. 10,000 contribution points can allow you to cultivate in the House of Psyche with 1x amplification for 20 days and 2 days in the House of Psyche with 1x amplification. Young man Xiaohan, what's your choice? Elaine asked with a smile. Xiaohan, 1 million contribution points can allow you to purchase a passable Jinchi cultivation technique manual. However, your realm is too low, so you won't be able to cultivate it immediately. Wu Li smiled. Let's see if you are willing to spend 10,000 contribution points to stay in the House of Psyche with 10x amplification for 2 days. The House of Psyche only increases the possibility of you breaking through your acupoints. It doesn't mean that you will succeed. The rise of your Jinchi cultivation still depends on your foundation and accumulation. Once your foundation and accumulation are sufficient, you will most likely be able to break through your acupoints by raising your spiritual touch. On the contrary, if your accumulation is insufficient, raising your spiritual touch will be useless. That's right. I have only opened 36 acupoints now. If word of this gets out, people will laugh their heads off. Forget it, I won't care so much anymore. I'll take a gamble. The House of Psyche with 1x amplification might not be very effective. I won't go. I'll spend 10,000 contribution points to cultivate in the House of Psyche with 10x amplification for 2 days. Xiaohan made his choice in an instant. Xiaohan, have you made your choice? Think it through. Elaine smiled. Senior Elaine, I'll rent a House of Psyche with 10x amplification for 2 days. Xiaohan said seriously. All right. Give me your Devil Hero token. I'll deduct 10,000 contribution points. Elaine extended her slender hand. Xiaohan passed the Devil Hero token to Elaine. After completing the relevant procedures, Elaine returned the Yen Chivalrous token to Xiaohan and gave him a key carved out of crystal. Xiaohan, go ahead. House of Psyche number 765. Thank you, Senior Elaine. Xiao Han grabbed the crystal key and turned to Wu Li and the rest. Sect Master, Senior Brother Dongfang, Senior Brother Fang Ling, I'll be going now. It's fine. Xiao Han, cultivate well. We'll wait for you in the resting area. We'll contact you when you come out of the House of Psyche 2 days later. Wu Li patted Xiao Han's shoulder lightly. Go cultivate. Yes. Xiao Han nodded heavily. After bidding farewell to Wu Li and Elaine, Xiao Han held the crystal key in his hand and found the House of Psyche. House of Psyche number 76. Taking a deep breath, Xiao Han opened the door with the key and stepped in. In an instant the door closed automatically. It was a small house of only 10 square meters. In the middle of the house there was a futon. Other than that there was nothing else. In the small house, white talismans fluttered down. These talismans were the size of a palm. They were like flying reeds and sacred leaves, mighty and majestic. Moreover, as soon as he entered the house, Xiao Han felt that his spirit was getting brighter and brighter. It was as if a knife was placed on a whetstone and was constantly being sharpened. It was really amazing. Once I enter this House of Psyche, it's like it's a completely different world from the outside. Here, my perception has been greatly enhanced. It's even like I've developed a magical sixth sense. Xiao Han was amazed. Soon Xiao Han walked to the futon in the middle of the house and sat down on it. Xiao Han sat with his legs crossed. He looked at his nose and his nose at his heart, like an old monk in meditation. The futon was where the most talismans were. A string of talismans fell from the sky and wrapped around Xiao Han's body. The talismans were like snowflakes, merging into Xiao Han's cerebral cortex. All of a sudden Xiao Han's mental power became sharp and penetrating. It was as if the sun was shining high in the sky. His entire brain seemed to have turned into a blue sky with white clouds. It was clean without any dirt or shadow. His entire world was intoxicated with peach blossoms and boundless fragrance. All of a sudden Xiao Han's spirit was brightened. The minute changes in his body such as his heartbeat, blood circulation, cell division and production, the contraction of his pores, the change in his body temperature, the movement of his internal organs. All of these were clearly reflected in Xiao Han's mind, as if he was looking at the lines on his palm. There was even a ball of blazing light coming out of Xiao Han's brain, forming a halo that covered Xiao Han's head. This was the spirit halo that was emitted when one's spirit was raised to a certain level. Under the cover of the spirit halo, Xiao Han's reaction speed, thinking ability, and sensing ability all rose steadily. It was to the extent that every little thing that had happened in the past flowed before Xiao Han's eyes like a trickle of water, allowing him to easily recall many insignificant things that had long been forgotten in a corner of his mind. Xiao Han was completely immersed in the wondrous state where his spirit sense was raised by 10 times. But very quickly Xiao Han gathered his thoughts. All right. Don't indulge in it and waste time. Hurry up and cultivate. 1 million contribution points only allowed me to cultivate here for 2 days. It's really expensive. I can't afford to waste even a minute. Cultivate. Cultivate. Just now, sect leader said that the most important thing to explode one's acupoints is to rely on one's foundation and accumulation. Only after accumulating enough and using strong spirit power to break through the blocked acupoints can one break through the true acupoints. Do I have enough accumulation? Senior brother Xiao Mingchu said that the stronger the body, the easier it is to explode acupoints. I devoured a pure-blooded Swanee and a pure-blooded heavenly dragon, and my body strength reached 14 million ding. Is this enough? I've experienced many tough battles and hovered between life and death. I participated in the Devil Hero trial and narrowly escaped death. I fought against Demon Emperor Qing Lin and killed him. I fell into the habitat of the Heavenly Dragon Empire's totem and almost died in the stomach of a beast. I encountered the Green Dragon Demon Emperor and in a situation where I had no chance of winning, I turned defeat into victory and killed the Green Dragon Demon Emperor. I defeated an expanded Acupoint Realm Devil Hero with a single move. I, Xiao Han, have roamed the world and killed mountains of corpses and seas of bones. Is this enough? In an instant, the location of the 37th true acupoint was accurately sensed by Xiao Han. Open. Using his saber intent as a guide, Xiao Han triggered his strengthened spirit power and struck the 37th true acupoint. The 37th true acupoint was suddenly opened. The beautiful sound of a butterfly breaking out of a cocoon could be heard from within Xiao Han's body. The 38th true acupoint. The 39th true acupoint. The 40th true acupoint. The location of the 3 true acupoints suddenly appeared. Open. 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 Xiao Han prepared for a moment before breaking through the acupoint. Buff, buff, buff. It opened continuously. The 41st true acupoint. This was a hurdle. Once the 41st true acupoint was opened, it would mean that Xiao Han had ascended from level 4 true qi to level 5 true qi. Every true acupoint was a bottleneck, a brand new world, a natural moat. It was the hardest to break through. Xiao Han closed his eyes and the spirit power in his brain shone brightly as he silently prepared. After a few dozen breaths. Level 5 true qi. Break. Open the pH true acupoint for me. The enormous spiritual fluctuation was like a torrent of water, fiercely crashing down. Boom. The first time he tried to break through the pH true acupoint, Xiao Han felt that his saber intent and spirit power had come into contact with a solid barrier. The attack had failed. It was unable to blast open this barrier. I can clearly feel the barrier of level 5 true qi. Now that I have a target to break through, it doesn't feel like I'm trying to break through randomly. Alright, again. Boom. The second time he tried to break through the acupoint was also a failure. Could it be that I, Xiao Han, have not accumulated enough? Continue. I don't believe I can't break through. The third time. This time Xiao Han's spirit was filled with determination. Courageously advance. Forcefully crush. Boom. His spirit power rolled like thunder and his saber intent was like a tide. Like a million lions he rushed towards the 41st true acupoint. Chapter 260. In the 10x room of vigor numbered 765. Xiao Han's entire head glowed with a dazzling radiance. This was a phenomenon that would only occur when one's mental energy reached a certain level. Right now, Xiao Han's mental energy combined into one. His aura was boundless and sharp, as he attempted to forcefully open the 41st acupoint and ascend to the 5th stage of true qi. Xiao Han's mind was resolute. He would die 9 times without regrets. He held his breath and attempted to open the 41st acupoint for the 3rd time. At this moment, the word failure did not exist in Xiao Han's mind. He had the conviction that he would win. Boom! This conviction turned into a surging torrent that forcefully opened the acupoint. In addition, the mental energy in his brain grew stronger and stronger. Within his strong body, blood and qi boiled, laying a solid foundation for the next acupoint opening. Inside the spirit house, some of Xiao Han's body cells, which were normally inaccessible to his mental power, were now filled with mental power, constantly nourishing his body's vitality. Open. I, Xiao Han, am at the 5th stage of true qi. Xiao Han roared like a wild beast. It was like a giant hammer hammering down on the 41st acupoint. Rumble. Finally, following Xiao Han's roar, the 41st acupoint opened. In an instant, Xiao Han's entire aura had undergone an earth-shattering transformation. His mental energy had reached a whole new level. In terms of true qi cultivation, he had reached a whole new level, the 5th stage of true qi. 41 acupoints opened throughout his body. He could store even more true qi. Furthermore, his state of mind, thoughts and reaction speed had greatly improved as well. Streams of qi shot out from Xiao Han's 41 acupoints. Xiao Han's sleeves fluttered, and his black hair fluttered despite the absence of wind. His surroundings were filled with the aftershocks of true qi. Phew, I finally succeeded. I have reached the 5th stage of true qi. However, I knew that the 5th stage of true qi was nothing special. Seriously speaking, this was also a foundation for breaking through to the 6th stage of true qi. To pave the way for the expanded acupoint realm. To truly open the 51st acupoint. To start expanding the acupoint. In terms of martial arts. Only then would one be able to completely open up a whole new world, allowing one to become a whole new person. Alright, there's still time. I will continue to explode my acupoints. I believe that with my accumulation, my true qi cultivation will not stop here. Continue cultivating. Xiao Han calmed his heart and tossed the small joy of successfully ascending to the 5th level of true qi to the back of his mind. His entire person became indifferent to both praise and humiliation. He continued to work hard and continued to burst his acupoints. However, after reaching the 5th stage of true qi, every subsequent acupoint that Xiao Qin tried to break through became much more difficult. It was no longer as easy as before, as if he was breaking through a hot knife through butter. Xiao Han failed dozens of times when trying to break through the 42nd acupoint. Fortunately, he was a patient person and he was unyielding. In the end, he managed to break through the bottleneck and open the 40-second acupoint. Xiaohan was fully immersed in cultivation, not daring to slack off or be half-hearted. Time flew by. In the blink of an eye, more than half of the 2 days had passed. The right to use the House of Psyche was only left with a few hours. However, at this moment, Xiaohan had already broken through 50 acupoints in a swift and fierce manner. Peak of the 5th stage of true qi. He was just a single step away from reaching the expanded acupoint realm, the Dan 6 Danjinshi realm. As long as Xiaohan broke through the 51st acupoint, he would be able to do it for the first time. However, Xiaohan knew himself best. When he tried to break through the 51st acupoint, he was met with setbacks time and time again. Every attempt ended in failure. Furthermore, this kind of failure was not by a narrow margin, but a complete failure. A complete and utter failure. This was a kind of hopeless failure. In fact, every time he failed, Xiaohan would feel a sense of wholeheartedly accepting of his defeat. Finally, Xiaohan stopped breaking through his acupoints. Looks like my foundation and accumulation have been completely exhausted. The oil is dry. Because when I was trying to break through the 51st acupoint, I was in a state where I had no direction and no confidence at all. It was like a blind man floating in the vast ocean, filled with boundless fear and helplessness. It seemed that from the 50th acupoint to the 51st acupoint, it was only a step away. However, when one reached this step, one would know how difficult it was to take this step. This step was a heavenly chasm. It was as difficult as ascending to the heavens, like finding a needle in a haystack. Now Xiaohan understood in his heart. However, he was not the least bit depressed or aggrieved. He could not blame the heavens or anyone else for this. It was because he had not accumulated enough. In the entire world of chivalry, there were not many expanded acupoint realm chivalry. Those who could reach the expanded acupoint realm were all overlords and all-powerful. On the chivalry ranking, they would definitely be ranked within the top 5,000 or even the top 4,000. Top of the world. Even Dong Fangqin and Fang Ling, who held high positions in the same sect, were not able to reach the expanded acupoint realm. This was enough to prove that it was indeed rare for someone to ascend from Dan 5 Dan to Dan 6 Dan. If Xiaohan succeeded in breaking through so easily, it would not make sense. My accumulation has been exhausted and not a single drop is left. I will not break through the 51st acupoint now. When I go out to train and accumulate more foundation, I will come back to break through the acupoint. Even if I were to enter the 100 times spirit rune now, it would definitely be a waste. Without foundation, no matter how strong my spiritual sense is, I will not succeed. Forget it. Zhang Xian decided to stop cultivating his Jinqi. To be able to cultivate to the pinnacle of Jinqi 5 Dan, from opening 36 acupoints to opening 50 acupoints, was already a huge improvement. Let's not waste the remaining time. I will polish my saber intent. Xiaohan's body did not move an inch. Swoosh, 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 an invisible but substantial saber qi rushed out from Xiaohan's body. Although there was no saber in his hand, the unrestrained release of saber intent made Xiaohan's entire aura become fierce and domineering, as if it could pierce through everything. The air around Xiaohan's body. Zigzag ripples were cut out. Once the saber intent was released, it was like a peerless evil dragon had appeared out of nowhere, tyrannical and arrogant. Xiaohan had an intermediate saber intent. However, after the Southern Region qualifier of the Hex Hero trial, Xiaohan had hardly used his saber intent. It was not to say that the intermediate saber intent was not strong. Strictly speaking, a mid-stage saber intent was already enough to make one's name known throughout the land. However, the intermediate saber intent also depended on the cultivation of true qi, as well as the strongest saber arts and saber techniques. Xiaohan's true qi was too weak, so that the intermediate saber intent could not exert much power. Now, Xiaohan had become a chivalry. Against other chivalry. Or when he was a demon emperor, his true qi was thin and his true qi realm was low. So that the intermediate saber intent could not cause any pressure to the opponent. After all, the higher the true qi realm, the stronger the defense, the faster the thinking and reaction speed, and the smarter the brain. Xiaohan's true qi foundation was not strong enough. Even with the intermediate saber intent, his opponent could easily dodge or even destroy the saber intent attack. Now, for Xiaohan to make the saber intent one of his trump cards again, there were two ways. One was to improve the true qi realm, practice advanced saber arts, and then integrate the intermediate saber intent into every move. The second was to comprehend the saber intent of the Great Accomplishment stage. The saber intent of the Great Accomplishment stage could generate natal saber qi in the body. This saber chi was purely a combination of spiritual strength and soul strength. It could kill people with a thought, completely ignoring the difference in levels and the amount of true chi. It could kill people of a higher level as easily as drinking water or eating. A natal saber chi could kill the enemy within 1,000 miles. Even the space crystal wall could be directly cut. This was the so-called breaking the void. The saber dominates the world, and the 6 paths are all destroyed. I have to slowly practice the saber art, and then integrate the saber intent into every move perfectly. This will take a lot of time. I might as well try to comprehend the saber intent of the great accomplishment stage. Xiao Han had his own plan in mind. However, the saber intent was invisible. It was extremely difficult to comprehend the saber intent of the great accomplishment stage. One could not follow the diagram but could only rely on a moment of enlightenment. It was something that could only be encountered. But Xiao Han had a trick. Xiao Han had obtained a secret skill on a seal on the surface of the demon egg. 7-fragment saber technique. This 7-fragment saber technique was the supreme secret of the saber Dao. Among them, the 4th move of the 7-fragment saber technique. Emotion-shattering move, the 5th move. Desire-shattering move. Once these 2 moves were cultivated to perfection, the saber intent of the great accomplishment stage would be comprehended. This was something to follow. 7 emotions. Joy, anger, sorrow, joy, love, evil, desire. 6 desires. Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, mind. After shattering the 7 emotions and 6 pleasures, Xiao Qin casually chopped out with his saber, forgetting about the 7 emotions and 6 pleasures, forgetting about victory and defeat, forgetting about honor and disgrace. He poured out all his energy, battle intent, and saber intent in an instant, making this saber strike flawless and pure. It would reach the realm of transcendence. Its power would be tremendous. One could become a sage and go against the heavens. One could also produce natal saber chi in one's body, which was the great accomplishment of the saber intent. In his previous cultivation, Xiao Han had only shattered the joy and anger of the 7 emotions, as well as the eyes and ears of the 6 desires. After that, he did not move forward. Now, while he was in the spirit house, his mind was flawless and sharp. Xiao Han could continue to cultivate the 7-fragment saber technique and try to shatter the 7 emotions and 6 desires. In an instant, a stunning saber glow appeared around Xiao Han's body. There were also faint saber lights and sword shadows and a murderous aura. The saber chi that lingered around Xiao Han's body suddenly burst out with a hearty shattering sound. The sorrow of the 7 emotions was shattered by Xiao Han's mind. Immediately after, the music of the 7 emotions was shattered. The nose and tongue of the 6 desires were shattered one after another. Xiao Han's saber chi, saber force, and saber intent all rose. However, at this moment, Xiao Han's reaction speed, spiritual sense, perception, and judgment all froze and slowed down. The talismans that were falling like snowflakes in the spirit house disappeared in an instant. All the superimposed effects on his mental strength disappeared. Xiao Han was beaten back to his original state. The halo of mental strength that was released from his brain also dimmed and extinguished. 2 days had passed. Xiao Han's cultivation time was over. Phew, Xiao Han let out a mouthful of turbid air and opened his eyes. A stunning saber light flashed, like a bolt of cold lightning in the dark night. In the next moment, Xiao Han stood up and stretched. He retracted his aura and concealed his saber chi and saber intent. 2 days of cultivation have passed without me noticing. I'm really reluctant. In these 2 days, not only did my true chi cultivation reach the peak of the 5th stage, I also opened 50 true acupoints. Moreover, my 7-fragment saber technique has also improved tremendously. I'll head out now and accumulate my contribution points properly. The more the better. The next time I enter the House of Vigor, I'll attempt to break through the 51st acupoint. Furthermore, I'll shatter the remaining love, evil, and lust out of the 7 emotions, as well as the body and will out of the 6 desires. That way, I'll be able to produce my natal saber chi and comprehend saber intent to greater success. In terms of cultivation, Xiao Han's goal was very clear. He was not going to ride a horse blindly. Xiao Han let out a mouthful of turbid air and left the spirit house. On the 29th floor of the Yaoxia Tower, the environment was comfortable and fragrant. It was a quiet and pleasant resting area. In one of the private rooms, Wu ***, Dong Fangqin and Fang Ling were sitting in the private room. They were smiling and chatting. 2 days have passed. Junior brother Xiao Han should be coming out of the spirit house and ending his cultivation. This time, junior brother Xiaohan is mainly cultivating his true qi in the spirit house to increase his true qi realm. I wonder how many true acupoints have been opened in junior brother Xiaohan's body. Sect Master, what do you think? Dong Fangqin looked at Wu *** curiously. Fang Ling also looked at Wu ***. Wu *** pondered for a while and smiled. There's no harm in making a guess. Xiaohan's body was as strong as the sea. In the Hex Hero preliminaries, he had overcome many obstacles and obtained the toughening of his mind and spirit. The battle with the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor had even transformed his soul and greatly stimulated his life potential. It could be said that Xiaohan had accumulated a lot. Now, these accumulations would burst out all at once and feed back to Xiaohan. It would be very beneficial. Before Xiaohan entered the spirit house, he had opened 36 true acupoints in his body. After cultivating in the 10 times spirit house for 2 days, I guess that Xiaohan has at least opened 10 acupoints. In other words, he should be in the middle stage of True Qi Stage 5 now with 46 true acupoints opened in his body. This? Sect Master, the 41st true acupoint is a threshold. Moreover, from 41 to 50 true acupoints, the difficulty of opening each acupoint will increase. I conservatively estimate that junior brother Xiaohan should have opened 43 true acupoints. Fang Ling said solemnly. I'm very optimistic about junior brother Xiaohan. I'll be more optimistic and guess one more acupoint than Sect Master. Junior brother Xiaohan has opened 47 true acupoints. Dong Fangqin said happily. That's not possible. Fang Ling frowned slightly. Alright, Xiaohan has sent a message to me that he has come out of seclusion. Now let's ask this kid to come over. Let's see with our own eyes how far he has cultivated. Is it 43, 46, or 47? Ah. Wu *** stood up. Chapter 261. Xiaohan stepped out of the House of Psyche. After communicating with Crow King, he was teleported to the resting area on the 29th floor of the Wuxia Tower. Right now, Xiaohan was at the pinnacle of Dan 5 Jinqi. Once he accumulated enough foundation, he would definitely be able to expand his acupoints. Compared to 2 days ago, he was like a completely different person. His spirit and aura were refreshed, giving off the feeling of a soaring spirit. His eyes seemed to be as gentle as water, but there was an occasional flash of light, containing an aura that would not tolerate any blasphemy. Moreover, the psychological trauma that the supreme mental energy fluctuation had caused to Xiaohan had already faded a lot. This caused Xiaohan's heart to be as clear as the sky. Xiaohan walked into the private room on the 29th floor of the Wuxia Tower. Wu ***, Dong Fangqin, and Fang Ling all rushed forward at the same time. Their mental energy swept across Xiaohan's body. They wanted to see how many true meridians Xiaohan had opened. As for Xiaohan, he did not use the spirit turtle's true qi to hide himself either. This allowed Dong Fangqin and Fang Ling to see through Xiaohan's true qi cultivation. What? Pinnacle of True Qi Stage 5, opening 50 acupoints in your body? Wu Yu was the first to speak. What followed was the sound of Dong Fangqin and Fang Ling gasping. Dong Fangqin and Fang Ling were both at level 5 True Qi realm. In the past few years of cultivation and accumulation, they had also opened the 50th true acupoint and were coveting the 51st true acupoint. They wanted to break through in one go and ascend to the heavens in a single bound. However, their foundation and accumulation were far from enough. They could only watch from the sidelines and could do nothing about it. Who would have thought that in just a few short years Xiaohan, who used to be a dumb living target, would suddenly change? His Jinqi realm was on par with the two of them. He had also opened 50 acupoints at the peak of level 5. Unexpected, unexpected. Junior brother Xiaohan, you are so fierce. When I guessed that you had opened 47 true meridians, it was already a bit of an exaggeration. I didn't expect you to actually go one step further and reach the point of opening 50 true meridians. Now you can plan to expand your meridians? Junior brother Xiaohan, you are truly a heaven-sent genius. I'm really impressed by your talent. Dong Fangqin clicked his tongue. Xiaohan, you've accumulated too much. He had to accumulate enough. Only then would he be able to seek a breakthrough in the House of Hyperactivity. I've underestimated you. Fang Ling was also deeply shocked. Peak of True Qi Stage 5. Wu Yu gave Xiaohan a deep look. Xiaohan, come on. I am optimistic that you will be able to expand your meridians within 3 years. Sect Master, disciple just tried to break through the 51st acupoint. However, his foundation was simply not enough. It seemed that he would have to go through some twists and turns. But I'm not in a hurry. With enough accumulation, success would naturally follow. Without enough accumulation, no matter how hard one tried, it would be useless. A blind man trying to light a lamp is a waste of wax, Xiaohan said calmly. Yes, expanding acupoints is no small matter. Don't be impatient. Wu Yu gestured for Xiaohan to sit down. They sat down again. Xiaohan, Dongfang, Fang Ling. The three of you are currently at the pinnacle of Duan 5 Jinqi, and you have opened 50 acupoints. Expanding acupoints is a matter of urgency. Now all of you listen up. Crow's tone also became serious. The three of them held their breaths. In this world there are many martial artists who cultivate true qi. A portion of them can reach the pinnacle of Duan 5 Jinqi, but to take the next step, to open the 51st acupoint and start expanding acupoints, they are as rare as phoenix feathers and qilin horns. Now I will tell you that what you need to do now is to accumulate. Desperately accumulate. Through endless battles to hone your spirit, through endless amounts of sacred medicine to nourish your body and meridians, meditation, enlightenment, fighting with demons, studying martial techniques, and so on. All of these are accumulations. You might be able to successfully accumulate before expanding acupoints, or you might not have any hope for your entire life, Wu Yu said with assurance. This process of accumulation is extremely important. It affects the result of the first expansion. In the expanded acupoint realm, the first expansion, which is also the opening of the 51st acupoint, is especially important. Frankly speaking, after reaching the expanded acupoint realm, the result of the first expansion could directly determine one's future prospects. Without a doubt. If the first acupoint expansion could only expand by 1 or 2 times, then the second, third, and even the 10th acupoint expansion would not have much of an improvement. It is impossible to expand the acupoint by 1 time and 10 times the second time. On the other hand, if the first expansion exceeds 10 times, then the second, third, and even the subsequent expansion will not be too weak. Sect leader, I understand. The first expansion can determine one's future achievements. Xiaohan understood. Then, sect leader, if the first expansion exceeds 10 times, then you are practically a genius, right? If the first expansion exceeds 10 times, then you are a genius among geniuses. You are destined to shine brightly in the future, and your name will shake the world. Wu Yu nodded seriously. When Ming Chu first expanded his acupoint, it was only 7 times, not more than 10 times. But Ming Chu was already an outstanding figure in the entire Yaoxiao world. In this 10-year holy war, if Ming Chu is willing to participate, then his ranking will move up. Wu Yu smiled slightly. Xiaohan, I have told you that in this world, if a martial artist can expand the acupoint by more than 50 times in the expanding acupoint realm, he is already a genius and can be called a king. If it can reach 80 times or 90 times, then it is absolutely heaven-defying. Furthermore, according to my sect's experience, the second expansion is almost always weaker than the first. The third expansion is also almost always weaker than the second. Each expansion is weaker than the previous one. Therefore, I will say that the first expansion is very important, and it can determine one's future achievements. The more times the acupoint is expanded, the more benefits you will get when qi is condensed into talismans. Deciding the number of acupoints for the first expansion depends on your current accumulation. You must accumulate enough to break through the 51st true acupoint. Don't break through rashly. If you accumulate enough to barely meet the requirements to break through the 51st true acupoint, even if you break through, it is only 1 or 2 times, which is meaningless. You are destined to be a stepping stone in the expanding acupoint realm. Do you understand? Wu Yu said solemnly. Understood. Dongfang Qin and Fang Ling exchanged glances. They nodded at the same time. Phew, sect leader, fortunately I did not blindly break through just now, otherwise as you said, even if I break through the 51st true acupoint, it will be in vain. If the first expansion is only 1 time, then every subsequent expansion will be worse than the previous one. When I reach the peak of the expanding acupoint realm, I can only expand 10 times at most, which is really meaningless. It will make people laugh at me. Well, from now on I will slowly accumulate. At all costs. I must strengthen my foundation. Only when I have enough capital will I break through the 51st true acupoint. Let's see if I can be on par with eldest senior brother in the first expansion. Xiaohan, based on your current situation, as long as you are calm and accumulate well, it is not impossible to surpass the beginning of Ming dynasty. Who knows, you might be able to achieve 10 times the number in your first attempt. In the history of the entire Xianxiao world, you will be one of the best. At that time, the higher-ups of the Xianxiao Pagoda will definitely do their best to cultivate you. 10 times. Xiaohan's eyes flashed with a hint of hope. Junior brother Fang Ling, let's not be too lazy and accumulate well. Well, from tomorrow onwards, we will work together to take on missions and participate in all kinds of life and death battles with the demon clan. Although our aptitude is not as good as junior brother Xiaohan, as your senior brother, we can't fall too far behind, right? Ah. Dong Fangqin laughed out loud. There was no jealousy in his expression. Yes, we should all work hard. If we don't reach the expanding acupoint realm, this life will be in vain. Fang Ling's eyes were firm. You guys work hard. Wu Xiao smiled and nodded. At this moment, there was a knock on the door outside the private room. Brother Wu Xiao, are you here? A man's voice with an ethereal charm sounded outside the private room. Muzishi? Wu Xiao's expression changed slightly, and he could not help but stand up. With a wave of his sleeve, the door of the private room opened. Brother Mu, rare guest, really rare guest. Immediately, Dong Fangqin and Fang Ling also stood up at the same time. Junior brother Xiaohan, the person who came is Mu Zishi, a tyrannical figure on the demon hero ranking. He is only one step away from the ranks of the ancient giants. His cultivation is unfathomable. In his life he has encountered countless fortuitous encounters and killed countless demon clan. His luck is overwhelming and he is a legend. In the 4 regions, all living beings have even built many holy temples and burned incense to worship Mu Zishi. This person is on par with our sect master. Dong Fangqin quickly reminded Xiaohan in a low voice. Such a powerful person? Xiaohan couldn't help but stand up. At this moment, Xiaohan looked up and saw a middle-aged man in thin clothes walking in calmly. There was a faint wind blowing out from every pore of this person's body. His body seemed to contain infinite light. The light was so bright that people would feel dizzy if they took a few more glances at him. In his eyes, there was an ancient divine light, and there were runes overflowing with immortal qi. His every move was like a god descending to the mortal world. Amazing. This spirit and bearing, a great master, a true great master. I wonder how many times stronger he is compared to that Li Fanming. Xiaohan was secretly impressed. Brother Wu, we haven't seen each other for more than 10 years. Ah. The person who came, Mu Zishi, shook hands with Wu Li. The two of them looked at each other, and there was a strong sense of friendship in their eyes, as if they had been through life and death together. Brother Mu, please sit. Wu Li did not say much. It was as if there was no need to say anything. Mu Zishi did not stand on ceremony and sat down casually in the private room. However, even though he was just casually sitting there, it was as if he was sitting in the throne room. His aura and majesty revealed his unfathomable strength. Sit down. Wu Li nodded slightly to Xiaohan, Dong Fangqin and Fang Ling. They all sat down. Suddenly Mu Zishi looked at Xiaohan. Brother Wu, this is the young Xiaohan? Your pure rain sex genius that only appears once in 10,000 years. He rose to power and even killed the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor. He's in the limelight for a while. This matter has spread throughout the entire Yaoxia Tower. Everyone is amazed. Mu Zishi's eyes were very powerful. With just a glance at Xiaohan, he seemed to have seen through Xiaohan's weight, explosive force, speed, heartbeat and all kinds of vitality. His mental power was very strong and had a penetrating power. He could almost easily see through Xiaohan's life force, even his internal organs, as if he was looking at the lines on his palm. However, he did not find anything unusual in Xiaohan's heart. Frankly speaking, although Mu Zishi was powerful, he was still a lot weaker than the spirit wave that wanted to rush into Xiaohan's heart. It was almost like the difference between heaven and earth. Therefore he had already been scanned by the extremely strong spirit wave. Now, facing the much weaker spirit wave of Mu Zishi, Xiaohan was naturally able to deal with it calmly. Xiaohan even smiled at Mu Zishi. Mu Zishi was moved. This bearing. Mu Zishi was shocked. Brother Wu, this young man is amazing. He is only at the 5th level of true qi, but he can actually be as calm as water when facing my gaze. Amazing, too amazing. Xiaohan, you should also prepare to expand your acupoints, right? Yes, accumulate well. Yes, senior, Xiaohan hurriedly said. He was also embarrassed. If he had not been baptized by a stronger spirit wave, Xiaohan would definitely not be able to maintain a calm state of mind when facing Mu Zishi's godlike light. Mu Zixi took a deep look at Xiao Han, then looked away and started chatting with Wu Li. Brother Wu, I have already given up my ranking on the Demon Hero ranking and will no longer roam the world. I am now in the Yaoxia Tower and am responsible for some trivial matters such as running errands and passing messages. Ha ha ha. Mu Zixi smiled. However, it is also a good opportunity to cultivate and accumulate well. Oh? Brother Mu, you actually gave up your ranking? In this 10 years sacred war, you could have tried to become one of the eternal giants. Why are you so dispirited at this time and even gave up your ranking? Wu was slightly stunned. Ah. Brother Wu, it doesn't matter. I can take back this ranking at any time. It is not that I have lost my ambition, but I am just a little tired. Mu Zixi shook his head and laughed. I understand. Wu Li thought for a few seconds and laughed. It seems that Brother Mu is confident to become one of the eternal giants, so you gave up your ranking so that you can completely relax and rest the fatigue in your heart. If I'm not wrong, Brother Mu is preparing to amaze the world with a single brilliant feat, stepping into the ranks of the eternal giants in one go. Good, Brother Mu is not only not dispirited but also planning before taking action. I have misunderstood. Ah. I will not participate in this 10 years sacred war. I will accumulate strength and wait for the next time. Mu Zixi did not deny it. After a pause, Mu Zixi looked at Xiao Han again. Brother Wu, this time I came here, firstly to catch up with Brother Wu and secondly I have something to discuss with Xiao Han. This matter is also the intention of the higher-ups, and I am responsible for passing the message. Wu Dong, Fang Qin, Fang Ling and even Xiao Han himself were shocked. This Mu Zixi was a powerful character who stepped into the ranks of the eternal giants. He was a top figure among the eternal giants. Why did he specially come to find Xiao Han? Moreover, he kept saying that this was the intention of the higher-ups. What did the higher-ups mean? Chapter 262. Xiao Han's heart tightened when he heard that Mu Zixi was here to convey some instructions from the higher-ups. Uneasy, torturous. Could it be that the powerful spiritual fluctuation from before has seen through the great secret lying dormant in my heart? So, in order to deal with me it sent this Mu Zixi, a giant throughout the ages, to capture and suppress me? In an instant Xiao Han felt as if there was a thorn in his back. He was restless, his body tensed up, and his essence, qi and spirit were highly concentrated. The demon, the arch tattoo on his left arm trembled and twitched. His fighting spirit began to rise in his heart. Once things changed and the truth was exposed, Xiao Han would definitely not sit and wait for death. At that time he would fight with his life on the line and see if he could kill his way out of the Yaoxia Pagoda. Xiao Han looked at Mu Zixi indifferently. Senior, what instructions do you have for me? Mu Zixi seemed to have noticed the change in Xiao Han. He was slightly stunned and immediately smiled. Xiao Han, it's not that I'm looking for you. The elders want me to pass a message to you. Mu Zixi paused and smiled at Wu Yu. Brother Wu, I'm just in charge of some trivial matters now, running errands for the old antiques of the Elders Guild. Brother Mu, what message does the Elders Guild want you to pass to Xiao Han? Wu Yu tapped his fingers on the agarwood table and said calmly. At the same time, Wu Yu glanced at Xiao Han from the corner of his eyes, signaling him to stay calm and not panic. Mu Zixi smiled and said, Brother Wu, to be honest, you and I are both heroes of the older generation. In this life, we have experienced many legends and met countless people. Out of all the new heroes, have you ever seen a youth like Xiao Han who has surpassed the ancients in the present? As soon as he became a hero, he dared to take on the mission to kill the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor. His courage and insight are unparalleled. Moreover, he was able to successfully kill the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor. I think Xiao Han must have used some strategies to kill the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor. He might even have turned defeat into victory and sought survival in the midst of death. I've never seen such a brave and resourceful genius before. I'm afraid Brother Wu has never seen one before, right? One of a kind, Crow said directly. Xiao Han stared at Mu Zixi without blinking, trying to read her expression. If anything happened, Xiao Han would go berserk. However, Xiao Han realized that Mu Zixi was praising him instead. Moreover, his tone was extremely sincere without the slightest hint of pretense. This caused Xiao Han to be a little puzzled. Why are you nagging? Why are you only praising me? Mu Zixi continued. Brother Wu, to tell you the truth, the elders are full of praises for Xiao Han and hold him in high regard. Xiao Han's performance in this year's Hex Hero preliminaries was very appealing to the elders, which made them think highly of Xiao Han. Xiao Han's success in killing the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor made the old men applaud him. Oh? Are the higher-ups preparing to groom Xiao Han? Wuxia laughed. Mu Zishi smiled but said nothing. She narrowed her eyes and looked at Xiao Han. Xiao Han, you've only been a fiendish hero for a few months, so you don't have a ranking on the fiendish hero ranking. Right? Ha! Xiao Han was stunned. Yes, I know. There are millions of fiendish heroes in this world, but only 10,000 of them can get a ranking. To be able to get on the fiendish hero ranking is a matter of fame and glory. It is an honor. However, I'm not experienced enough to compete for a ranking on the fiendish hero ranking. But I yearn for it. I also want a place on the fiendish hero ranking. Ha ha ha. Mu Zishi nodded with a smile. How ambitious. Fong Ling blurted out. Are the higher-ups going to make an exception and allow Xiao Han to participate in the fiendish hero ranking challenge? Ha ha ha. Mu Zishi laughed loudly. According to the rules, every new fiendish hero must serve for 2 years and pay 50,000 contribution points before they can participate in the ranking challenge. This rule has been used until now and has never been changed. No matter how enchanting, how pretentious, and how monstrous he was, the elders would not change the rules for him. But Xiao Han broke this rule, causing the elders to no longer abide by the rules and agreed to let Xiao Han participate in the fiendish hero ranking challenge in advance. Xiao Han, are you interested in challenging once? Once you succeed, you can get a ranking on the fiendish hero ranking. And I can tell you that this is a relatively high ranking. It depends on whether you have ambition or not. Now the opportunity is in front of you. This. Xiao Han frowned and thought about it. The higher-ups of the Fiendish Hero Tower want me to participate in the Fiendish Hero Ranking Challenge. What are they planning? Didn't that powerful mental fluctuation already notice the abnormality in my heart? Why didn't they punish me immediately, but instead seem to want to cultivate me? What kind of crafty plot was hidden in this? It's really worth pondering. Wu Yu, Dongfang Qin, and Fong Ling looked at Xiao Han at the same time. Senior Mu. I don't know anything about the Fiendish Hero Ranking Challenge. I have never heard of it. I don't know what the situation is. Xiao Han hesitated. Brother Mu, what is the ranking this time? Don't keep me guessing, just say it in one breath. Wu Yu looked at Mu Zishi. Okay, Mu Zishi nodded. It's like this. Last month, the famous Fiendish hero Hai Qingtian, who was ranked 1,650th on the Fiendish Hero ranking, voluntarily gave up his ranking and retired from the Fiendish Hero Tower. Currently, he is on the 488th floor of the Fiendish Hero Tower, responsible for managing the secret training room. In other words, the 1,650th place on the Fiendish Hero ranking is now vacant. Those who are ambitious can compete for this position. If Xiao Han is willing to participate in this Fiendish Hero ranking challenge, once you successfully break through, you will directly get a ranking 1. Xiao Han, what do you think? A ranking within 2,000 is already in the upper reaches of the entire Fiendish Hero ranking. It is relatively close to the ancient giants. To be able to get this ranking is definitely not a small matter. It is definitely a glorious thing for the sect. In the future, in the secular world, there will be people who will build temples for you and worship you day and night. Even in the entire Fiendish Hero world, you will be respected. After a pause, Mu Zishi continued to talk incessantly. There was no lack of incitement in his tone. Of course, Xiao Han, you may not care about empty reputation. However, when you get this ranking, there will be many real benefits. Let me tell you, the top of the Fiendish Hero ranking has a lot of privileges. You can enter many secret realms and ancient country ruins that ordinary Fiendish heroes do not have access to. You can participate in missions to hunt mutated demon emperors. You can even form teams to participate in large-scale battles to encircle the great demon emperor. Every month, you can get a portion of contribution points. Well, you don't need to complete any missions. The higher-ups will directly allocate you a lot of contribution points. You can also use this ranking to buy vital energy secret manuals, various maps, intelligence, and even enter the secret cultivation room to get some discounts. Are you serious? Not only will there be a fixed monthly reward of contribution points, but you can also get discounts and save contribution points for doing anything in the Fiendish Hero Tower? Xiao Han was dumbfounded. Xiao Han, it's like this. Before this, you did not have a ranking, so I never mentioned this kind of thing to you. In case you get distracted. Now that Brother Mu has said it like this, I won't hide it anymore. Once you enter the top 200 on the Fiendish Hero ranking, you will have many privileges and preferential treatment. It is not something that ordinary fiendish heroes can compare to. Wu Li also nodded in agreement. For example, a ranking of 1650 will receive 200,000 contribution points every month. You can get it for free. Moreover, you can buy secret manuals and maps in the Fiendish Hero Tower, precious medicine, divine weapons, and enter all kinds of secret cultivation rooms at a 20% discount. That works? Xiaohan was surprised. All in all, it is a matter of both fame and fortune. Mu Zishi continued to instigate and instigate. Xiaohan, the higher-ups made an exception to give you this opportunity. You have only become a fiendish hero for a few months, and you have already obtained a heaven-sent opportunity to become famous. Brother Wu and I do not have such good luck. Back then, we both struggled for more than 10 years before we had the opportunity to compete for such a ranking. Xiaohan, in fact, I personally think very highly of you. I also hope that you can create this immortal miracle, unprecedented, and within a year of becoming a fiendish hero, you will jump from being unknown to the top of the fiendish hero ranking. This kind of feat can be called a legend and will definitely be recorded in history. Oh. Xiaohan licked his lips. His mind was spinning and all kinds of thoughts came one after another. Could it be that the higher-ups of the Fiendish Hero Tower have discovered my secret and really want to get rid of me, so they found such a reason to let me participate in the ranking challenge? But in this challenge they planted a chess piece to suppress me? What a good plan. You can kill me in a justifiable and unbeknownst to a ghost. Xiaohan, this is an opportunity. However, I do not want you to make a hasty decision. You must not be reckless. Think carefully. Wudong said seriously. Participating in this kind of ranking challenge, the possibility of death is very low, but there is also competition, which can be called cruel competition. Once you fail, you may leave a psychological shadow or even a mental demon, which will cause you to be unable to recover in the future. The mortality rate is very low? Xiaohan was puzzled. Yes, junior brother Xiaohan, think about it. Those who are qualified to compete for this ranking are all senior fiendish heroes with unparalleled merits, and they are all respected in their own areas. For our fiendish hero world, the death of one is an irreparable loss. Therefore, competition is competition, and the higher-ups will not allow death. As much as possible, we must prevent the contestants from falling into the sand and losing their lives. Junior brother Xiaohan, if you are confident, why not participate? This is a rare opportunity. Think about it, if you get a ranking of 1650, in the future when you go out in the pugilistic world, take out the fiendish hero token, and countless fiendish heroes will bow down to you. Wouldn't that be very impressive? Ah. Indeed, a ranking of 1650 was already very, very high. However, Xiaohan's heart was in turmoil. If they want to torture me, why let me participate in a ranking competition with a low mortality rate? This is not right. Seeing that Xiaohan was hesitating, Wudong asked. Xiaohan, are you not confident? If you really don't have enough confidence, then forget it. It's okay if you don't participate, there will be opportunities in the future. It's not that I don't have confidence. Xiaohan hesitated for a few breaths and then opened his mouth to ask. Senior Mu, I wonder what realm this senior fiendish hero who was originally ranked 1650 is at? Without a doubt, he is at the expanded acupoint realm. This junior would like to ask, how many times did he expand his acupoints, and how many times did he expand his acupoints? Or, has he already turned his true chi into true talisman and reached the talisman transformation realm? Also, how many people are participating in this ranking competition, and who are they? I hope that Senior Mu can tell me one by one. Xiaohan, it seems that you are already tempted by these questions. Haha, not bad, knowing oneself will win 100 battles. Alright, I'll tell you one by one. Mu Zishi's eyes were filled with praise and admiration. Young people, it's good to be brave and diligent and to dare to fight and fight. It's not good to be a coward. Xiaohan, since you dared to kill the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor, it's impossible that you don't dare to participate in this ranking competition. Chapter 263. Yes, Xiaohan was indeed tempted by the Devil Hero ranking challenge. Let's not talk about the benefits of winning this ranking. Now that Xiaohan had opened 50 acupoints, he was about to take the crucial step of breaking through to the 51st acupoint and step into the expanded acupoint state. To expand acupoints, he needed to accumulate. He needed to go through Mountain of Blades and Sea of Fire, he needed to transform in the face of death, and he needed to develop his life potential as much as possible. Cultivating true chi was the way to go. Xiao Han knew that if he wanted to go further on the path of cultivation, or even become an immortal in the future, he had to make great progress in the cultivation of true qi and kill everything in his way. Cultivating true qi was not like cooking tea, admiring flowers, singing to wine, riding on a crane, but a path of no return. It was a path of no return. One had to overcome all obstacles, constantly kill the demons in one's heart, eradicate the demon race, and wander between life and death. In the end, one had to break through all illusions and seek the truth to prove one's Tao. Therefore, for Xiao Han, the Hex Hero Ranking Challenge was not just a simple ranking, but also a chance to hone his skills. To be able to compete with many senior Hex Heroes, to be on an equal footing, and even to be the champion was a huge accumulation in itself. If he wanted to expand acupoints well, he couldn't do without this accumulation. This Hex Vigilante Ranking Challenge is a competition for the 1650th place. It's definitely much more valuable than the Hex Vigilante Preliminaries. It's totally different. Xiao Han knew. However, Xiao Han also suspected that the higher-ups of the Devil Hero Pagoda made an exception for him to participate in the Devil Hero Ranking Challenge. They might want to eliminate him or even suppress him. Dig out his heart and dissect his abdomen for research. The situation was extremely dangerous. However, from another perspective, the other party was a higher-up of the Devil Hero Pagoda and was suspected to be an immortal. Dealing with such a colossus that could suppress the universe and cover the heavens with a single hand was simply like a child's play. Therefore, even if Xiao Han refused to participate in the Devil Hero Ranking Challenge, the other party would come up with other plans and schemes. Running away was not a solution. Instead of worrying every day and being on guard day and night, it would cause distracting thoughts in his heart. It might even breed a terrifying demon in his heart. It was better to face it calmly. Deal with it as it comes. Life was short, like a mayfly's dream. There was no room for so many schemes. There was no room for so much forbearance. Fighting with all his might was Xiao Han's Tao. Senior Mu, please tell me about the strength of the Senior Devil Hero 1650 on the original Devil Hero ranking list, as well as the situation of the Devil Heroes who are participating in the competition for this ranking. Indeed, this junior's heart palpitated with eagerness, and I also wanted to obtain this ranking. He officially made a name for himself in the world of chivalry. Xiao Han looked at Mu Zishi and said, "It's time to raise the prestige of our pure maiden sect. Good Xiao Han, listen well." Mu Zishi looked at Xiao Han with great approval, her words overflowing with praise. The person who originally occupied the 1650th spot on the Devil Hero ranking was the famous Devil Hero Hai Qingtian. This person was extremely brave and talented. He had long occupied the top 2000 of the Monster Hero ranking list. He had also killed high-level monster emperors and had made great contributions. He cultivated the mountain and sea fist scripture. With the mountains as the scripture and the sea as the latitude, his fists were like falling stars, engulfing the 9 prefectures and destroying everything. He was a tough character to deal with. In terms of the true Qi realm, it was no small matter. He was at the peak of the expanded meridian realm, expanding his meridians 10 times, opening 60 true meridians in his body, expanding them 46 times. The volume of his true Qi was majestic. Even the mountain and sea prison could not compare to him. All these years, I heard that Hai Qingtian was accumulating his strength. He wanted to transform all the true Qi in his body into true talismans, break through the 61st true meridian, and step into the talisman transformation realm. From what I can see, Hai Qingtian's situation is very similar to mine. He looked like he wanted to give up his ranking and retire from the Devil Hero Tower, but in reality he wanted to let go of his burden, his honor, and go all out to achieve the talisman transformation realm. Moreover, many people know that Hai Qingtian had already touched the threshold of transforming true Qi into true talismans. Although he did not break through the last layer of window paper, his combat strength is close to that of a normal talisman transformation realm. He is indeed a powerful person. He is ranked within the top 2000 of the Devil Hero ranking list. He deserves his reputation. Fong Ling sighed deeply. After listening to Mu Zishi's introduction, Xiao Han could roughly guess the combat strength of this devil hero, Hai Qingtian. The pinnacle of the expanded meridian realm, expanding acupoints by 46 times. He is an expert among experts. His true Qi is as deep as the ocean, and the cultivation technique he cultivates is definitely a top-notch cultivation technique. If I were to fight him, I would definitely be tortured to death by such a powerful person with brute force. I might only stand a chance if I use demonic techniques. If I want to defeat him, I might have to use my trump card, the Green Dragon Demon Emperor's natal demonic technique, Green Dragon Possession, Xiao Han continuously evaluated in his heart. Senior Mu, in other words, the senior devil heroes who are competing with me to fill this vacancy must have combat strength close to Hai Qingtian's. Otherwise, they wouldn't have the confidence to compete for his ranking, Xiao Han guessed. Yes, those who are not strong enough to participate in this ranking challenge are asking to be humiliated. It can be said that those who covet Hai Qingtian's ranking must be senior devil heroes who have made great achievements in cultivation in recent years and think that they are qualified to replace him. All of them are arrogant and unruly people. According to the information I have, apart from you, Xiao Han, there are a total of 15 senior devil heroes who have signed up for the competition. They are all arrogant and are determined to get the 1650 ranking, Mu Zishi said while looking at Xiao Han. 15 senior devil heroes? In other words, including me, there will be a total of 16 people participating in this devil hero ranking challenge. Among the 16 people, only one will be able to get the 1650 ranking of Hai Qingtian. Xiao Han also understood. 1 in 16 chance, Wu Li muttered as he tapped his fingers on the agarwood table. Xiao Han, it is different from the devil hero trial. Once you participate in this devil hero ranking challenge, your opponents will not be useless. The 15 opponents are all experienced devil heroes who have walked out of mountains of corpses and seas of bones. Their lives are filled with legendary experiences, and each of them has their own fortuitous encounters and their own unique skills. They kill the devil clan as if it is nothing to them. They are experienced, and the older they get, the more determined they become. They are all great figures who have been famous throughout history and illuminated the 9 states. They can also start their own sects and become grandmasters. Each of them is not easy to deal with. No. You have to face a total of 15 people like this. Indeed, it is very difficult. 1650, such a ranking is not so easy to get, Feng Ling also reminded Xiao Han. Xiao Han. Senior brother Dongfeng and I are also not ordinary people. We have been devil heroes for a long time, but our ranking is outside the top 5,000. For us, a ranking like 1650 is out of our reach. We don't even dare to think about it. Xiao Han, it is extremely difficult for you to compete for such a high ranking. Although you are a genius in your life, your luck is like a rainbow. However, I'm still lacking a little in terms of maturity and experience. Brother Mu, those 15 people. What is their background? Wu Li asked. Brother Wu, I am not very clear about the specific details. I have not received the list of participants yet. However, as far as I know, among the 15 participants, 12 of them are within the top 2,000 of the devil hero ranking. Only 2 of them are outside the top 2,000. The remaining one has no ranking. Mu Zishi's tone became extremely serious at the end. In fact, if there is no accident among the 15 participants, the most dangerous and terrifying one happens to be the one without ranking. No ranking but the most terrifying? Xiao Han was puzzled. Ha. Mu Zishi looked at Xiao Han. Xiao Han, I don't have a ranking right now. I know. In other words, a devil hero who originally had a good ranking like Senior Mu, gave up his ranking. Now he wants to come back and make a comeback. Therefore he covets the position of 1650. He wants to regain his ranking. Xiao Han woke up from a dream. Who is this person? Wu Li's voice also became serious. It is a mystery for the time being. However, this person's original ranking was within the top 1500. Mu Zishi said word by word. Hiss. Dongfeng Qin and Feng Ling gasped at the same time. The devil hero within the top 1500, after giving up his ranking and retiring for a period of time, couldn't bear the loneliness and wanted to come out. He wanted to first obtain a ranking of 1650, then catch up and take back his previous ranking, or even climb up and go further. This kind of person is indeed very dangerous. Dongfeng Qin said dumbfoundedly. There is actually such a person? Xiao Han licked his lips. In his heart, he thought, however, if I directly compete with such a dangerous person, once I step on him, I will gain an indescribable accumulation. The benefits of expanding the acupoints are very great. Knowing that there was such a person participating in the ranking challenge, Xiao Han's heart not only did not have too much worry and fear, but also a little excited. His fighting spirit began to rise. His blood and qi surged. In addition to this formidable opponent, I know that there is also the great Son of Heaven. Mu Zishi spoke again. The great Son of Heaven is also a devil hero with infinite potential. On the devil hero ranking he is ranked 1701. In the southern domain Blazing Sun Empire, he personally created a sect, the Sun God Palace. It has spread its branches and developed into a powerful force in the blazing Sun Empire. Before this, the great Son of Heaven expanded his acupoints 9 times 43 times. However, these few months he did not come out of seclusion. After many years of accumulation, he officially broke through the 60th acupoint. He said that in the 10th time he would strive to increase the capacity of his true chi to 50 times. 3 days ago, the great Son of Heaven came out of seclusion. He had successfully broken through the 60th acupoint and completed the last expansion. Now, I am afraid that he has already begun to transform his true chi into true talismans, trying to ascend to the talisman transformation realm in one fell swoop. The great Son of Heaven? Xiaohan was shocked. He also wants to participate in the competition for the 1650th rank? Then how many times has his acupoint expanded now? He did not expand his acupoint by 50 times as he wished, but expanding it by 47 times is enough to look down on all the other heroes. Mu Zishi smiled. The great Son of Heaven is very ambitious. After coming out of seclusion, he immediately wants to compete fiercely and snatch the 1650th rank. In fact, on one hand he wants to verify his combat strength, on the other hand he wants to make a name for himself, and on the other hand, it is to pave the way for him to ascend to the talisman transformation realm. It is also considered as accumulating. Probably, the great Son of Heaven does not care about this ranking, but wants to use this competition to gain enough accumulation. Xiaohan, the current situation of the great Son of Heaven is similar to yours. You want to pave the way for the expansion of acupoints, to accumulate the foundation. The great Son of Heaven is to pave the way for the talisman transformation. The great Son of Heaven? Good, very good. It seems that I, Xiaohan, and him have really met on a narrow path. Xiaohan's eyes flashed with faint hatred. Xiaohan, could there be some enmity between you and the great Son of Heaven? Mu Zishi was slightly stunned. To be honest, back then Junior's strength was not good enough, and I was threatened by the great Son of Heaven many times, and was even almost captured by him. Moreover, in this year's Monster Hero selection in the Southern Region preliminary competition, Junior even personally killed the proud disciple of the great Son of Heaven, Crown Prince Hualai. It can be said that Junior and the great Son of Heaven have a deep hatred. He once humiliated Junior, regarded me as an ant, and wanted to trample me to death. That year Junior made a vow that one day I will make him pay back double. I didn't expect there to be such a story. This also made this year's Monster Hero ranking competition more interesting. Xiaohan, are you going to participate or not? This is the decision. Mu Zishi teased and immediately looked at Xiaohan. Xiaohan couldn't help but look at Wu Yu. Xiaohan, you make the decision yourself. However, according to your temperament you should already have a choice, right? Wu Yu smiled, held up the teacup, and lightly took a sip of the fragrant tea. Yes, sect master, disciple already has a plan. Xiaohan licked his lips and looked at Mu Zishi. Senior Mu, since the Elder Guild specially asked you to inform Junior of this matter, it seems that the higher-ups also want Junior to participate. Since things have come to this, Junior has no reason to refuse. All right, Junior will participate in this Monster Hero ranking competition, compete for the 1650th rank, and compete with 15 competitors. This is a rare opportunity to accumulate strength. Junior does not want to miss it. Chapter 264. After weighing the pros and cons, Xiaohan finally agreed to participate in the Devil Hero Ranking Challenge and compete with 15 senior Devil Heroes for the high ranking of 1650. Good. Heroes come from young. Xiaohan, I didn't misjudge you. Hearing Xiaohan's quick answer, Mu Zishi's eyes were also filled with relief, and his eyes were burning with anticipation. He even looked like he was going to watch a good show. Those old men in the Elders' Council also hope that Xiaohan won't refuse and waste this great opportunity. In reality, those old men have repeatedly expressed that in this ranking challenge competition, they will not let Xiaohan die. Even if you cannot defeat the other competitors and obtain this ranking in the end, you will definitely not lose your life. You can rest assured about this. Just go to the competition with peace of mind. Be brave and strive for the top. Brother Mu, I want to see how you can be a busybody. Wu Li laughed involuntarily. Mu Zishi also smiled. To tell you the truth, Brother Wu, in recent years, there has been no sensational event in the whole Devil Hero world. Life is really peaceful. Finally, Xiao Han, like a god descending to the world, has the opportunity to create a rare miracle. I am also very eager to witness this miracle. I want to witness this miracle with my own eyes. Brother Wu, throughout history, there has never been a young devil hero in his 20s who can be ranked within 2,000 on the devil hero ranking list. Now Xiao Han has this possibility. Xiao Han is not only challenging this ranking, but also challenging history and challenging the record. Once he succeeds, it will be a great achievement that will be famous for thousands of years. Hearing Mu Zixi words, Xiao Han also did not know whether to laugh or cry. However, looking at his attitude, Xiao Han did not feel that Mu Zixi had any hostility or conspiracy against him. Perhaps, Mu Zixi still does not know that my secret has been targeted by the Devil Hero Tower. There is no other way now, I can only advance step by step. Xiao Han thought to himself. Xiao Han, I'll be taking my leave now. Prepare yourself. 5 days later, this year's Devil Hero Ranking Challenge will officially begin. Mu Zixi stood up, nodded to Xiao Han and gave him an encouraging look. I will send the detailed information of the 15 competitors to you as soon as possible. What? The competition will start in 5 days? Isn't this too hasty? Xiao Han was surprised. Oh. Xiao Han, the Hex Hero Ranking Challenge has been prepared for a long time. I didn't take you into consideration. The higher-ups aren't going to make an exception to let you participate in the competition. However, after the news of you killing the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor reached the Yaoxia Pagoda, the higher-ups were shocked and decided to let you participate in the competition at the last minute. 5 days might be a bit of a rush, but sharpening a spear at the last moment is better than nothing. I'm still optimistic about Xiao Han's chances of creating a miracle. Alright, I won't say much. I still have other matters to attend to, so I'll take my leave now. Brother Wu, I will take my leave first. With that, Mu Zixi left swiftly. Xiao Han, I knew that with your temperament, you would definitely participate in the competition. You even dared to kill the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor, what else do you not dare to do? Wu laughed. Sect Head, this is also an important accumulation for me before I attempt to reach Expanding Aperture Realm. Xiao Han nodded his head. Junior brother Xiao Han, this ranking challenge is more than 10 times more dangerous than the Hex Hero Selection Challenge. You will be facing a group of real experts, so you have to fight steadily. Don't be greedy. Fortunately, the death rate of the ranking challenge is very low. Throughout history there are very few cases of participants dying. Just like what you said, treat it as a training and accumulation. Dong Fangqin said with a serious face. Xiao Han, I hope that you can continue to create miracles this time. Fang Ling encouraged him. Yes, I will be careful. Xiao Han nodded his head heavily. Xiao Han, I noticed that when you were facing Mu Zixi at the beginning your emotions were a little out of whack. You even revealed a very obvious battle intent. What exactly happened? Suddenly Wu Mu lowered his voice and asked. This, Sect Head, it's nothing. Maybe I was too nervous. Xiao Han didn't want to reveal that his secret was discovered by the higher-ups of the Yaoxia Pagoda. Oh. Wu Yu took a deep look at Xiao Han, then looked away and took a sip of tea. Xiao Han, remember, no matter what happens, the Pure Cloud Sect is your home. I will protect you. Hearing this, Xiao Han was touched. Thank you, Sect Head. Alright Xiao Han, you only have 5 days to prepare. You should stay in the Yaoxia Pagoda and adjust your state. You don't have to return to the Pure Cloud Sect for the time being. Do you need to enter the House of Vigor again for cultivation and enlightenment? I can give you some contribution points. Wu Yu said seriously. Dong Fangqin smiled. Yes, junior brother Xiao Han, the Hex Hero Ranking Challenge is approaching. Don't go back and forth. Just stay in the Yaoxia Pagoda. Don't worry too much about your 2 wives. They are very comfortable with life in the Pure Cloud Sect. Once you obtain this extremely high ranking as a devil hero, you can go back in glory and marry them. That would be perfect. I'm afraid they wouldn't even dream that they would marry a top devil hero in this life, right? Senior brother Dongfang, you must be joking. What wedding night? I have never thought about it. Xiao Han was embarrassed. Immediately, Xiao Han raised his head and said to Wu Yu. Sect Master, for me to have you give me contribution points, this disciple feels very apologetic. It's okay. Now is a critical moment. Xiao Han, if you can get this ranking, I will be very pleased. The entire Pure Cloud Sect will be glorious. Moreover, it can also improve the status of the Pure Cloud Sect in the Beacon Fire Empire and even in the entire southern region. Wu Yu said decisively. All right, Xiaohan, you can stay in the House of Vigor for the next 5 days. That's good. I will also take the opportunity to refine my saber intent. Xiaohan no longer refused. The 33rd floor of the Yaoxia Pagoda. The resting area. In a private room. The Great Sun Emperor and the Dragon Bone Saint Saber were sitting at an agarwood table, talking to each other. At this moment, the Great Sun Emperor's aura was strong. Compared to the past, his spirit and aura were on another level. A blazing sun rose from the top of his head, illuminating the 9 continents. With his body as the center, countless strange phenomena appeared. Within the blazing true chi, countless fire dragons, fire phoenixes, fire tigers, fire crows, and fire cheelants were born and destroyed. It was a marvelous sight. With a slight movement of his body, the wind and clouds gathered. From every pore on his body, a terrifying sound of volcanic eruption could be heard. Boom, 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 all of a sudden, a blazing sun appeared from the body of the Great Sun Emperor. Each of the blazing suns shot out rays of holy light, bathing his body and nourishing his body. Rings of light appeared around the body of the Great Sun Emperor. Within these rings of light, there were runes dancing like spirits. Holy light, sky, blazing sun, fiery trees, silver flowers, and all kinds of rivers, oceans, heavenly palaces, and divine mountains. Auspicious air rose and auspicious clouds shrouded the sky. It made the Great Sun Emperor look like a celestial being, high and mighty. The Emperor of the Great Sun just sat there calmly, exuding the demeanor of a supreme expert who was impervious to all sorts of favors and humiliation. If someone were to stand beside him, they would definitely feel an intense pressure, as though a mountain range was pressing down on them, gushing over forcefully. Good. After 10 times, the acupoints had expanded 47 times. Great Sun, this result was enough to bring to the stage. Now you can prepare to break through to the talisman transformation realm. The talismans formed by the true acupoints with 47 times capacity will definitely be wondrous and strong. After I expanded my acupoints 10 times, the capacity of my true acupoints only reached 43 times, and I finally completed the talisman transformation. Great Sun, your foundation is stronger than mine. Once you transform into talismans, your strength will definitely be above mine. The Dragon Bone Saint Blade sighed. The Emperor of the Great Sun snorted indifferently. His eyes were filled with ambition and satisfaction. I wanted to pursue perfection, to expand my acupoints by 50 times and build a strong foundation. However, I am still lacking. Of course, expanding my acupoints by 47 times is indeed not a small matter. When I step into the talisman transformation realm, I will definitely catch up and greatly increase my ranking on the Devil Hero ranking. This time, my participation in the challenge for the 1650th place on the Devil Hero ranking is the first step to my rise. I can feel that my life has reached an extremely strong stage, shining brilliantly, and I am just a step away from the talisman transformation realm. If there are no accidents, after this competition, I will be able to accumulate enough to transform my true energy into talismans. Great Sun, your aura is indeed getting stronger. I also think that you will be able to get the 1650th place. The Dragon Bone Saint Blade added. By the way, Dragon Bone, after I came out of seclusion, I heard that Xiaohan has been in the limelight recently. What is going on? The Great Sun Emperor frowned slightly. Hearing this, the Dragon Bone Saint Blade's expression froze, and it frowned deeply. Great Sun, Xiaohan's path of development is too abnormal. After he became a devil hero, the first mission he took was to kill the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor. The Azure Dragon Demon Emperor is an elite among the high-level demon emperors. Even if we join forces, it's almost impossible to kill him. Instead we might die. This kid and Xiao Mingqiu entered the Great Wilderness together. Xiao Mingqiu is also a powerful person, so I didn't dare to follow them into the Great Wilderness. Moreover, I thought that Xiaohan would be courting death by hunting the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor, so I gave up monitoring him. However, I didn't expect that a few months later, the Devil Hero Tower actually received news that Xiaohan had completed the mission and successfully killed the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor. This time everyone was shocked. It can be said that Xiaohan is currently at the peak of his power, and no one in the younger generation can compete with him. After a pause, the Dragon Bone Saint Blade pondered. However, I will never believe that Xiaohan personally killed the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor. He must have done it through someone else. I think it was Xiao Mingqiu who did it. What? Killed the Azure Dragon Demon Emperor? The Emperor of the Great Sun's face suddenly became gloomy, and he even stood up abruptly. This evil creature actually improved so quickly. Regardless of whether it was Xiao Mingqiu who did it, we can't underestimate this evil creature now. Moreover, we can't let him continue to grow. This kid will definitely shine brighter and brighter in the future. By that time, we won't be able to suppress him anymore. No. We must find an opportunity to kill him in advance. We can't give him any more chances to live. His speed of growth makes even me a little afraid. Ha 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 ha. Suddenly, the Dragon Bone Saint Blade laughed out loud. Dragon Bone, what are you laughing at? Don't you think that this evil creature Xiao Han is too heaven-defying? If this kind of person doesn't die, we won't be able to eat and sleep in peace. The Emperor of the Great Sun was slightly dissatisfied. Virokana, there are 15 people participating in the Devilman ranking challenge this time, besides you according to my latest news. Because Xiao Han's recent performance was too dazzling, the higher-ups of the Devil Hero Tower decided to make an exception and let Xiao Han participate in this ranking competition. Ah. Great Sun, that means Xiao Han will be competing with you for the ranking competition. You know what to do, right? Ah. The Dragon Bone Saint Blade's eyes flashed with a cold killing intent. Great Sun, as you said, this Xiao Han is too demonic. He is like a ferocious tiger lying in a desolate hill. As long as he doesn't die, we won't be able to have a day of peace. I didn't expect that he would also get involved this time. Great Sun, with your current cultivation, it shouldn't be difficult for you to suppress Xiao Han. In for a penny, in for a pound, in for a pound, in for a pound. Find a chance to kill him. After that, you will just have to accept some bearable punishment, not death. Ah. This is what it means by Heaven's Net has a long way to go. Hearing this, the Emperor of the Great Sun also laughed wildly. I was just worried that I couldn't find a chance to kill this evil creature, but I didn't expect that there would be such an arrangement. Heaven's will. This is really Heaven's will. Dragon Bone Xiao Han was like an ant that we could step on whenever we wanted to. But in just a few years he became a great threat to us. Don't you think that there's something strange about this? In addition to the secrets of the demon clan, Xiao Han must have had a great fortuitous encounter. I must take this opportunity to get all the secrets of Xiao Han. It will be the perfect foundation for my rise. Ah. Dragon Bone, don't worry. When the time comes, I will not forget you. The secrets and fortune of Xiao Han will be shared equally between the two of us. Alright, Great Sun, it's a deal. Alright, you should also prepare yourself. The competition will begin in 5 days. Other than Xiao Han, those who will compete with you for the ranking this time are all formidable opponents. You must not underestimate them. The Dragon Bone Saint Saber also reminded. Yaoxia Domain. The sky was clear and boundless. Boom, boom, boom. Suddenly, above the blue sky, 99 golden rainbows suddenly appeared, piercing through the north and south and the east and west. Auspicious clouds descended one after another, and it was raining flowers. On these golden rainbows, there were countless young boys and girls. Some of the young boys and girls were boiling water and brewing tea, some were washing tea sets, some were playing musical instruments, some were reading books, and some were waving banners. Between the heavens and the earth, flowers fell from the sky, and golden lotuses appeared on the ground. On one of the thickest golden rainbows, there was a young man in a golden robe. He had his hands behind his back and he walked forward unhurriedly. His steps were very calm, as if he was taking a leisurely stroll in a courtyard. However, his steps were steady, slow, and dignified. Suddenly, there was a huge pressure in the sky and on the ground. It made people feel that this man in a golden robe was like a celestial emperor descending to the world to inspect the rivers and mountains. This man looked to be in his 20s or 30s. He had a jade-like face and the lines of his face were very gentle. His hands were empty, but every move he made emitted a kind of magical charm that could frighten the soul. It was as if anyone in front of him had to bow down to him. My lord is lucky. My lord will enjoy immortal happiness forever, and live as long as the heavens. At that moment, all the boys and girls on the golden rainbow knelt down on their knees and began to chant in a loud and clear voice. The appearance of this man in a golden robe was so magnificent that it was almost unparalleled. Ha! Good, very good. 20 years ago, I, Ing Zhantian, fought with a mutated demon emperor in the depths of the grand wilderness, and both of us were injured. The mutated demon monarch is indeed powerful. In just a few dozen moves he managed to force me to the brink of death. However, I made a prompt decision and activated a secret skill. At the cost of exploding my true acupoints, I escaped from the demon's mouth and escaped, but I also injured it a lot. Since then, I gave up my ranking on the monster hero list and retired to the mountains. 20 years have passed and my injuries have healed. Moreover, with that bloody battle with the mutated demon emperor, my cultivation has actually improved. Well, today I announced that I, Ying Zhantian, have returned to the Jianghu. First, I will get the ranking of 1650, and then I will show my strength. I, Ying Zhantian, will definitely get the ranking that I lost with my own hands. Tremble. I, Ying Zhantian, am back. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.